asking him to find more than 11,000 votes, convinced he'd won the state, has also been part of the Fulton County District Attorney's investigation.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The Supreme Court today ruling that North Carolina's top court did not overstep its bounds in striking down a congressional districting plan as excessively partisan. The justices, by a 6-3 vote, rejected the broadest view of a case that could have transformed elections for Congress and president. North Carolina Republicans had asked the court to leave state legislatures virtually unchecked by their state courts when dealing with federal elections. Russia is being accused of widespread torture and execution of civilians in Ukraine.
The UN Human Rights Office says these abuses were systematic. It details more than 800 cases of civilians, including children and the elderly, being arbitrarily detained by Russia. UN Human Rights Monitor Matilda Bogner.
Many civilian detainees were held incommunicado in unofficial places of detention, often in deplorable conditions.
The vast majority of people interviewed say they were tortured. Some accuse the Russians of sexual violence. The report also documents 75 cases of arbitrary detention by Ukrainian security forces.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Scorching temperatures meteorologists say were brought on by a heat dome have taxed the Texas power grid and are expected to expand to other parts of the country. Forecasters say that heat dome's expected to reach north to Kansas City and east to the Florida Panhandle and continue until at least the 4th of July holiday. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why you should still be prepared. 71 degrees, cloudy downtown. All clear with the radar. Tonight's low drops to 57. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Many Hoosiers are cleaning up storm damage from tornadoes that hit the state Sunday, but more severe weather could be on the way. John Herrick reports.
As for when you could see more intense weather.
So it looks like pretty much Wednesday night through next Monday, we're going to have a lot of storms around. We have clusters of storms moving through at times, and we do have a severe weather risk now for Thursday.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the entire state needs to be on the lookout that day for damaging winds, hail, and possibly an isolated tornado. He says rain chances also continue through the weekend. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
An air quality action day has also been issued for today and tomorrow in Indiana. That's because of smoke from Canadian wildfires, similar to the hazy skies you may have noticed a few weeks ago. Small particles from those fires could make spending time outdoors unhealthy and dangerous for children, the elderly, or people with respiratory conditions. It's recommended you stay indoors. The Brown Elementary teacher who was accused of telling a special needs student to eat his own vomit had their teacher's license revoked last week. Indiana Secretary of Education Katie Jenner stepped in last Tuesday and made the decision to revoke Sarah Seymour's license. Seymour can petition to have her license reinstated in 3 years. You might be asking how the nation's debt has gotten so big. Kurt Darling reports on one answer from a local economist.
It's because Americans are living longer than ever before, says Ball State economist Mike Hicks. He says the longer people live in retirement, the more money that they take in from Social Security, as well as health care costs through Medicare and Medicaid.
How do we change benefit structures? Social Security was designed when the median lifespan was in the late 50s.
But he says people are living into their 80s and 90s now, and because of that, he says these programs alone are costing more than what the government is taking in taxes. Kurt Darling, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The statewide average for gas today is $3.44 per gallon, says Gas Buddy, and that's down 11 cents from where it was a week ago. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Here's Jiffy Lube's Jennifer Sanner and COO Lonnie Hinkle.
Lonnie, you've been with us at Jiffy Lube for 27 years and are now a partner. What do you love most about our business?
I love how much we do to help people maintain their vehicles properly. There is so much more involved in maintaining your car than just changing your oil. If all you do is change your oil, your car will not last nearly as long as it should. Jiffy Lube is a one-stop shop for all your car's maintenance needs.
And that's why every Jiffy Lube service includes a full report on all the important maintenance needs of your car. We believe information is power. We perform this thorough inspection so guests can make informed decisions about their vehicle. And Jiffy Lube does not pay commissions. We are simply here to help.
Jiffy Lube is all about helping you keep your car running safely and efficiently for as long as possible. For regular Jiffy Lube guests, 200,000 miles is now the new 100,000 miles.
Hey, we should use that line in a commercial sometime.
Simple, fast, and no commissions. Indiana's favorite, Jiffy Lube.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison, I'm looking at Lawrence right now. Southbound 465 around east of 56th Street. We do have a slowdown, and it's from a little bit before Fallen Creek down to east 56th Street. We're looking at that more at WIBC traffic. Southbound 6570 slow at the north split, and then northbound 37 stopped from Epler to 465. It's a work zone. Traffic sponsored by LASIK Plus. LASIK Plus is the patient's choice for LASIK. Get $1,000 off LASIK when treated in July. That's $500 off per eye plus guaranteed financing. Visit mylasicoffer.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies, comfortable temperatures this afternoon. Today's high around 80. We are partly cloudy, quiet, and cooler overnight. A low down to 58. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Well, Hammer, this leaked audio of Donald Trump, it's like it's rehash. It's stuff we already knew. We saw the transcript in the indictment that was released a couple of weeks ago. Now we just have it in audio form. What I want to know is what the real story is, where it came from.
Right. There's a lot of other layers to the audio.
Sure.
And we're going to play you the entire 90-second clip coming up here in just a moment. But you're right. There are some other things of note going on here. So, again, here's what I want you to listen for in this clip. At one point, you will hear Donald Trump say, quote, "See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't. You know, but this is still a secret." And then the staffer responds, well, laughing, "Now we have a problem." So there's a lot of things going on here. Take notes. Here's the clip in its entirety.
Well, with Milley, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Mm-hmm. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. But look at this. You attack. And
Hillary would print that out all the time, you know.
She'd send it to Anthony Weiner, the pervert. By the way, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
I was just saying, because we were talking about it. And he said he wanted to attack Iran and what? These are the papers. This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to figure out a
See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, you know, but this is classified.
Now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there in that 90-second audio bite there. Nige, what do you think?
It's amazing. It's just stunning how these Trump things get leaked out. The iron secured. You can't get past the Department of Justice. The lockdown DOJ. We can't talk about Hunter Biden because the investigation's ongoing. We can't until it's Trump, and then CNN is all over it. It's funny how the DOJ gets these things to CNN, or the CNN finally. Like, remember when Stone was what's his face?
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone was arrested, and CNN was there before the feds were there to get him.
CNN beat the feds to his house that day.
Look! No, we can't tell you anything about the Hunter Biden investigation. It's an ongoing investigation, okay? And they had, just think about this. They had that text from Hunter to the Chinese oligarch, basically saying, "Hey, give me my money. My dad's right here, and he's sitting next to me." And then they had that text under lock and key for 3 or 4 years. But all of a sudden, we have this Trump audio that's leaked out.
And who leaked it? Because if it was indeed the DOJ, well, we got a ball game here. We've got a situation because that could be the type of technicality that could let Donald Trump walk. Now, on its surface, just listening to that, it sounds like this is going to be a major problem for Donald Trump. The questions are going to come in. Can you prove those were classified documents that he was rummaging through with the people in that room?
Yeah, or was he just being kind of cavalier? Or was he screwing with them or trying to impress them when they weren't really... I don't know. I'm not going to get myself into a pretzel thinking about all this. I mean, it is what it is. This tape says nothing new. It doesn't say anything different than the indictment. The Justice Department is running cover for the White House. It's like the Biden's own personal PR department, I think. I mean, like the past couple of days, you noticed the press has been asking Karine Jean-Pierre about Hunter and Joe and all of that crap. But all of a sudden, this new shiny object leaks out from a case, which is, by the way, this thing is under a gag order. And the judge in this case doesn't like this kind of crap. So if I was Trump's legal team, like you just mentioned, I'd be up there in front of the bench asking for dismissal immediately.
The other thing, aside from Donald Trump saying anything in that audio, was the fact that if they do exist, there are documents that show Milley wanted to invade Iran against Donald Trump's wishes.
Yeah, you remember that whole thing? Iran shot down a drone or something like that in the United States.
Yep.
And they wanted to go in and get revenge, and Donald Trump stopped them. Said, no, we're not doing that. What's the death count there? No, we're not going to do that. Which is a funny side narrative because everybody paints Donald Trump as this out-of-control, warmongering president dictator when he was the one that used restraint and did not go in. And
so if you have proof that Milley was trying to force the United States into a war, defying the wishes of the president, this is another big deal here. Now, Donald Trump has responded to this audio that's been leaked out. He went to Truth Social. So, Big Nige, if you wouldn't mind, in your best Donald Trump impression, can you read the response that he put out last night?
The deranged special prosecutor Jack Smith, working in conjunction with the DOJ and the FBI, illegally leaked and spun a tape and transcript of me, which is actually an exoneration, rather than what you have you believe. This continuing witch hunt is another election interference scam. They are cheaters and thugs.
Well done, sir. Well done.
A lot out of me. That burns a few calories when I do that.
What really wins me over, what sells the bit for me, is the sucking of the spit. Like when I hear you suck that spit back, it feels like Donald Trump is in the room. So while Donald Trump continues to struggle with the Department of Justice, Joe Biden continues to struggle against the teleprompter.
No.
So yesterday, speaking at the White House, he's got his eyes squint. He's leaning in. His mouth is open. He's trying to read it word for word on the teleprompter. And we got another end of quote.
And the next day, they sent someone out to survey her yard. As Beth wrote, this is the best thing that's happened to rural America since the Rural Electrification Act brought electricity to farms in the 30s and 40s. End of quote.
Why do they keep typing that on the teleprompter?
And when you hear him read that, it sounds like a kid reading a book report in school.
Yeah.
Like Obama knew how to deliver a speech.
Oh, sure. Great
Donald
orator.
Trump can hold a crowd in the palm of his hand. Joe Biden squints, opens up his mouth, almost falls forward, and reads end of quote. Now, this is not the first time
No.
he's done this, which brings us to great moments in end of quote history.
And the next day, they sent someone out to survey her yard. As Beth wrote, this is the best thing that's happened to rural America since the Rural Electrification Act brought electricity to farms in the 30s and 40s. End of quote.
So we've got that. That was a recent end of quote, but there's a long list.
New sea, because there's new life-saving knowledge to be gained that must be used for progress of all people. End of quote.
Now, my favorite of all time is when we get not only an end of quote, but I think we get a repeat the line out of this one.
That the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
For the last time, anything you put on that proper, Burgundy will read.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Wow.
Great moments in end of quote history.
Love it.
All right, Matt Bear, what's up?
East side, Lawrence, southbound 465 at East 56th Street. It's a crash with a semi blocking the right lane, stopping traffic to 71st Street. And then we are slow on the south side, stop and go northbound 37 Epler to 465. It's a work zone down to one lane in each direction. Traffic sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. With nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Centers, Napa is the fuel that helps drivers like you get up and go. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Man, we're playing the hits today. We have a great moments and end of quote history.
Yeah.
Coming up later on, we have a lewd nude dude in the news.
Oh, man.
But coming up next, in Damn Nature You Scary, there's a story about a bear that's charging a group of photographers. How do you think the photographers tried to get rid of the bear?
Great moments in shooing away bear history coming up.
That could be next. It's 73 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
For the first time ever since opening its doors, the Indianapolis Men's Clinic is now the only men's health organization offering an intimacy guarantee. That's right. If you don't perform, you don't pay. You heard that right. Restoring intimacy is important to everyone. Helping men with a proven solution is what drives success. That's why the Indianapolis Men's Clinic stands by their intimacy guarantee. Now you will have the assurance and confidence of proven outcomes without the fear of financial loss. By using the latest technology for the treatment of ED, acoustic wave therapy uses pressure waves to open existing blood vessels, which restores spontaneity and intimacy for you and your loved one. Stop trusting companies that feed you empty promises with no results. Trust an intimacy guarantee. Trust the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000 or IndianapolisMen'sClinic.com.
Rob, here's a number I'd like you to consider.
Yes.
35%.
Oh.
How would you like to get a 35% bonus when you invest your money?
Yes, please.
So if you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. And if you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. But don't wait, because this 35% bonus, it ends on Friday, June 30th.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. You can sleep well at night knowing your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Learn how you could get this 35% bonus by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy at 317-932-9912.
Remember, this 35% bonus offer ends on Friday, June 30th. So don't wait. Call today. Get your 35% bonus by calling 317-932-9912. That number, 317-932-9912.
Do you wonder what your home is worth in an ever-changing housing market?
Did you know that your home's value changes constantly due to mortgage rate changes, seasonality, and what other homes near you have recently sold for?
I'm Greg Cooper.
And I'm Lisa Phillips.
And we want to be your real estate resource not only when you move, but even when you aren't.
Our passion is to serve Central Indiana homeowners with the best information and advocacy available.
Try us out. Find out what your home is worth online right now at HoosierHomeValues2023.com.
That's HoosierHomeValues2023.com.
GeoFocus Academy is the premier online private school for Indiana students, helping students build a successful future regardless of race, income, or geographic boundaries. 96% of Indiana residents qualify to attend tuition-free using the Indiana Choice Scholarship. With certified teachers and hands-on learning from home, you can create a bright future for your child. Now enrolling grades K through 12 for the 2023-2024 school year. Learn more at k12.com/GFA. GeoFocus Academy, where education clicks.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents...
Damn, nature, you scary.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
What have I always said, Hammer? I've always said this is the worst way to go. This would be the worst way to die. Two things. Do you know what they are?
It's either being attacked by a shark and dragged to the bottom of the ocean, or being mauled to death by a wild animal.
Yeah.
Like a tiger or a bear.
I really think that would be a slower death, because eventually the shark, you'd either eventually drown or you'd bleed out. But the bear, I feel like it would toy with you a little bit, would want to fight with you like it did Leo DiCaprio in the movie The Revenant, right? So this group of photographers, they were in Alaska taking a bunch of pictures of nature. Damn, nature, you're scary! And they were surprised that a big brown bear attacked them, so they shouted and shooed at him and then scared him off. This, as you can imagine, this is probably the same thing I would do or you would do. Here's how it went down. Now I have... by the way, that's a big bastard too, man. That thing's running right at him. I've got it retweeted right now at Hammer and Nigel if you want to check that out. If we could replay the audio one more time, this is probably up there in great moments in chewing away bear history, I would think, right?
Sounds like you and I getting up from the studio chairs. So if we're going to do this, let's do it right.
Okay.
Great moments in chewing away bears history. This is the guy that tried to scare away the bear by yelling like a bigger bear. So the bear goes in this guy's backyard because they live, I think, in California. The family's out there playing. So that's the screams you hear when they run inside. And then he has to act like a bigger bear. Now, this woman took a very different approach. This was, I believe, in Tennessee, near the Smoky Mountains.
All right.
She used her teacher voice and kind of gave the bear a lecture when he came up to her back deck.
Get down from there. Get down from there. Right now. Go. You get down from my porch right now. Go. What do you think you're doing on my porch? You get down. Go. How dare you?
Several different ways that people shoo away bears, basically.
But I think we all agree this has always been the number one seed of a March Madness style tournament of shooing away bears, the guy that was on the hiking trail.
Quiet.
Yeah. He still wears the crown. For
now,
sure.
I don't know if we've ever heard Allison shoo away a bear.
Oh.
Allison, get the microphone up here. Let's just say we're on the air and a big Kodiak just barges into the studio here. How do you scare it away?
Shoo, bear. Go away, bear.
Well, we're dead.
I'd take the teacher approach.
Yep, we have just been mauled to death by a bear.
Yeah. Let's hear the opposite. I want to hear you do a big one.
Okay.
Come on, like the guy, like the photographers. Ah!
Okay.
You ready?
You know what that reminded me of? If you've seen the movie Bad Santa, where they're trying to teach Thurman Merman, the little nerd kid, to try to be tough and yell back to the bully, so they're teaching him to box.
Yeah.
And he goes, eh.
You sure know how to instill confidence, don't you?
We're already dead, Allison, because of your half-assed effort the first time of shooing away the Kodiak. Nigel and I, we're being thrown around in shambles right now.
But that teacher, the one where the teacher's, get down from there, get. I mean, I say the same thing to my cat, Gary, when it gets...
How dare you?
Gary gets on the kitchen table sometimes. Get down. Gary, get down.
Can I hear the teacher voice one, please, Allison? Yeah. The teacher trying to scare away the bear?
Get down from there.
Yeah,
Get
that's
down.
me.
Get down from there.
Yep.
Right now. Go. 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 You get
So
down
this was
from my
Allison's
porch
first
right
approach.
Now. Go. What do you think you're doing on my porch? You get down. Go.
How dare you?
I am more scared of her, how dare you, than Greta Thunberg's how dare you, though.
How dare you?
How dare you? Today, it's National PTSD Awareness Day. Now, we've had a lot of folks come in here. Our friend Brian Alvey talks about PTSD from time to time.
He's a military vet, yeah.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a real thing. It's a serious thing. And because of this, unfortunately, vets are committing suicide at record amounts right now. And I don't think it's anything to compare, right? So if you're somebody that has a job and you say, man, I've got PTSD from this job, unless it's going overseas where you're hearing gunfire and bombs, I kind of feel like it's inappropriate. And this takes us to this story from Iowa. An Iowa weather guy, 18-year meteorologist Chris Gloninger, he announced that he was leaving the television business because he got a death threat. He keeps talking about climate change in his forecast, and he's always talking about how climate change is going to be the end-all to be-all. Some idiot sent him a death threat, which I do not condone. But Mr. Gloninger here said that the criticism of his climate change reporting left him with post-traumatic stress disorder. So I'm having a hard time making the connection of somebody jumping out of a plane, landing in Fallujah, and dealing with bad guys there, and a guy on television making a pretty good salary in an air-conditioned studio, both saying, oh, yeah, we've both got PTSD.
I mean, I guess I would say the only thing I'd say is there's probably different levels and different types. I mean, I don't think PTSD is specifically reserved for the military, right?
Right.
I mean, you can have PTSD if you get in a serious car accident and you never want to get into a car again or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not the same as being shell-shocked, which used to be the old
I understand,
term, right?
But it's not, PTSD is just not reserved for the military. And in action, it's not just a military term. It's a medical.
Technically,
it's a medical
you're
term.
right. But if you've got a bunch of heart surgeons together and a dentist walks in, look at all of us doctors hanging out together.
like in The
Hangover.
Yeah, right.
No, you're a dentist. You're not a doctor. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your complete health assessment at Low T Center. They now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay or covered by most health insurance.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatments. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey, if you're an American Standard furnace and or air conditioner owner, there's nothing you need to be worried about this summer. And if you need American Standard service, Hammer is going to tell you a little bit about Marshall.
Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling in Franklin, in Johnson, and the surrounding counties. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling is your trusted American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. So if you're tired of hearing those ads where you get a free furnace with the purchase of this or that, and you know that it's bogus, call Marshall. You'll get an honest quote in Johnson and the surrounding counties, and make sure that AC unit's ready to go as the summer starts to heat up. Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling. They can also help you with your indoor air quality. Southsiders, Marshall Mechanical Heating and Cooling, 317-738-5940, or visit callthemarshallnow.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Flexware Innovation, Inc. is seeking a full-time senior systems engineer in Fishers, Indiana to design and develop manufacturing execution systems, MES, which includes SCADA, and HMI development built around the Ignition platform using SQL, Python, JavaScript, and other languages and technologies. May work remotely from anywhere in the United States. Contact Matt Hayden, 12 Municipal Drive, Fishers, Indiana, 46038, or email matt.hayden@flexwareinnovation.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The count is up to 4. Cloudy and 73 degrees downtown. Also some hazy skies from Canadian wildfires. There's a slight chance for rain tonight. Your low drops but just below 60. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:30. Survey teams from the National Weather Service have confirmed that now 4 tornadoes hit Indiana Sunday afternoon.
2 EF2 tornadoes and then 2 EF1 tornadoes. One of the EF2 tornadoes was the one that was near Greenwood in Johnson County.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the tornado in Martin and Du Bois counties had wind speeds of 120 miles per hour. The one in Johnson County reached 115. He says severe weather is possible again Thursday, so keep an eye on your radar. The Brown elementary teacher who was accused of telling a special needs student to eat his own vomit had their teacher's license revoked last week. Indiana Secretary of Education Katie Jenner last Tuesday made the decision to revoke Sarah Seymour's license. Seymour can petition to have her license reinstated in 3 years. A ruling on the Biden administration's student debt forgiveness plan is expected from the Supreme Court soon as the White House continues to advocate for loan relief.
The idea of giving folks a little bit more breathing room to get out from under mountains of student debt so that they can, do things like start a small business or buy a home.
Deputy Press Secretary Olivia Dalton. Republicans argue the president doesn't have the authority to forgive the debt without Congress's approval. Former President Donald Trump is sticking to the story of politics being the motive for the 37 federal charges he faces for mishandling classified documents.
They even tried to have me arrested. I'm a candidate. I said, wait a minute, I'm a candidate. You're arresting a candidate? Yeah, because you're leading. That's why we're arresting. If you were losing or if you weren't a candidate, we'd have no problem. But they don't like it when we're leading, and we're leading by a lot.
Trump is campaigning in New Hampshire today. His first name starts with an R, and his last starts with an S. If you're going to guess the name of the new Wheel of Fortune host, you'll have to buy a couple vowels as well. Ryan Seacrest will be taking over, says the New York Times. He'll be replacing Pat Sajak once he retires at the end of the show's next season. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
With traffic at 3:33, here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, Harrison eastbound 465 is stop and go right now from Keystone over to Allisonville Road. It does not let up at I-69. However, we still have a delay down to Lawrence and southbound 465 from 69 to East 56th Street. It's because of an earlier crash. It is now out of the right lane. Coming into downtown, eastbound 70 slows at Harding. Inbound 65 stop and go west. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Celebrate B Window's 40-year anniversary with 40% savings on all their products. Plus, manufacturers' rebates get 20 months, no interest, and no payments. Trust B. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly cloudy skies, comfortable temperatures this afternoon. Today's high around 80. We are partly cloudy, quiet, and cooler overnight. A low down to 58. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Watching this thing on Wish TV this morning while I was getting ready, Hammer, talking about how, the headline is Hoosiers are, you can expect higher grocery prices this summer. Had a whole thing about it. Like if you have a 4th of July cookout with 10 people, say, it's going to cost you 8% more than it did last year.
So what if you have a open house coming for a recent high school graduate where you're going to be responsible for feeding a lot of people? Because this is the situation that we're in right now, and you're telling me that we haven't even got to the apex of the grocery prices yet? See, because that's really weird to me, because I'm old enough to remember just yesterday when Corinne Jean-Pierre basically said anybody that was complaining about grocery prices or travel costs, that was a myth, because Americans, they feel better about their personal finances because of Joe Biden.
But look, 13 million jobs, again, when you think about how Americans feel better about their personal finances, that is important. When you think about wages are going up, when you think about the really good paying, millions of good paying jobs, that union jobs that his policies are going to create.
Americans feel better about their personal finances because of Joe Biden.
Wish TV, locally, doing a good job here, have ran 2 different stories over the past week about how grocery prices are skyrocketing, especially compared to a year ago. Margarine spiking 22.5% from a year ago. Flour, 17.5% more expensive than a year ago. Bread, 12.5%. Sugar, 11.5%. Blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on and on. I thought all this went away, you know? And by the way, what she said about wages, what do we always say about the show on wages, right?
Real wages continue to go down. And what real wages are is, compared to the inflation that's out there right now, the amount of money you're bringing in. And that's down from a year ago. So not only are you getting a pay cut, crap costs more money. But according to that's just a big myth. So everybody should feel really good about their personal finances, and you should feel really good that the man leading this nation's economy is this guy.
Get ready, Val. You're going in for a problem.
Now, this is the same dude who yesterday, I don't know if he was trying to be funny or if this was a senior citizen moment. He's sitting at the table, world dignitaries around him, and he casually states that, waiting for the press to come in, he was selling government secrets.
I was just thinking, anyway, I started off without you. And I sold a lot of state secrets and a lot of very important things that we shared.
What the hell are you talking about? Is it a bad joke attempt, or did he say the quiet part out loud?
This is exactly what they're looking into. This is exactly why members of the press are peppering KJP with questions about Hunter and Joe and the text message sent to the Chinese business executive. Hey, my dad's sitting right here. Where's the money? And then a week later, the money's in the account, the exact amount.
Donald Trump's being indicted for what Biden just said out loud right there. And again, he's so old and feeble, you don't know if he's trying to make a joke or if he doesn't have his fastball and he's saying the quiet stuff out loud. Will you play that one more time, please, Miss Allison?
I was just thinking, anyway, I started off without you. And I sold a lot of state secrets and a lot of very important things that we shared.
Nobody laughed because they could see him doing that.
I was going to say, it was crickets in there. Is he being serious, or is he just rambling?
I would have raised my hand. Again? Isn't this kind of the whole point of you lawyering up in the first place, Joe? New York City Mayor Eric Adams calling out Black Lives Matter for their silence on the black-on-black crime that's been taking place in New York, specifically during their Juneteenth celebration.
It was a very violent day in New York City on Juneteenth.
A lot of places had violence going down. Here is New York City's Mayor Eric Adams.
Juneteenth was our celebration of emancipation and the end of slavery. That was one of the most deadliest days in our city. 10 shootings, I think 6 homicides, one 16-year-old boy shot in the head, close range. We have to be honest about this. And you know what's interesting? All those anti-police folks didn't raise their voice at all. If Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter when innocent people are shot on our streets. And I'm not going to continue to remain silent.
Well, you better get your prosecutor Alvin Bragg on the case. It sounds like we've got the same problem there as they do here. And it's nice to know, it's not nice, but I mean, we're dealing with the same crap. I understand it. And by the way, just a side note, it's a little too easy. Sorry, Eric Adams. It's a little too easy to call out BLM now that we all know that they're shady and corrupt. And it was a whole scam to begin with. So you're a little late to the party there. So,
right.
I mean, okay, fine, whatever.
I will say this for Eric Adams. He's had some beef with the New York BLM organization, even as a candidate. There were some spirited back and forths that they had, if you remember. So he's not a big fan of that organization, but it is a little insincere for him to act like you're going to be Mr. Johnny Tough Guy on crime right now. Between the job that you've done, or haven't done, I should say, with your prosecutors in the city, you're right, Nigel. It's just like Indianapolis. Boss Hogsett can come out here and stomp his feet and slam his booze bottles on the ground and shake his fist and say, we've got to make it a gun-free zone. Welcome to the party, Bal. Where were you at when the riots were taking place? Where was all this Johnny Tough Guy act previously?
He was apologizing for the way the police acted during the riots.
And if you were a business and you put boards up on your windows, you were the problem.
You were shamed.
You were sending the bad message to the rioters. And that's actually something that's happened here in this city. How about this? Goodbye Pride Month. Hello, Summer of Pride. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Admiral Rachel Levine.
Hello, my name is Admiral Rachel Levine, and I have the honor of being the Assistant Secretary for Health at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month, and actually, let's declare it a Summer of Pride. Happy Summer of Pride.
They get the whole summer now?
They get the whole summer now, apparently. So
it's like it's so bizarre to me that like our military veterans, they get basically 2 days out of the year. They get Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And but because you're gay, you get the whole month. That's. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. And I think the Pride Month or Pride in general has been co-opted by certain radical extreme elements of the trans movement, and I think any normal gay person will tell you that. I mean, what did we see? We talked about it yesterday. Those videos of pride parades going all around social media last weekend of grown-ass hairy men in work boots and tighty-whities and nothing else twerking in front of kids.
You're lucky if that's all they were doing.
Yeah, right.
You're lucky if they had on the tighty-whities.
I bet there's probably an element of the gay community that doesn't like that crap.
I think you're absolutely right. And a full summer of pride. So let me run these by you here, Nige. What's a better summer? The summer of pride.
We're coming for your children.
We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. That was the summer of pride. Let's go back to 2020, the summer of love.
The protests in late spring were mostly peaceful, but damage from looting and arson will cost $1 to $2 billion in claims. That's according to the Insurance Information Institute.
Yeah, sorry, they weren't mostly peaceful. Try again.
So again, we're trying to figure out what's the better summer, the summer of pride, the summer of love, or the summer of George.
I'm going to read a book from beginning to end in that order.
Yes.
I've always wanted to do that.
I'm going to play golf.
You mean golf?
Golf! Frisbee golf, Jerry! Golf with a frisbee! This is going to be my time. Time to taste the fruits and let the juices drip down my chin. I proclaim this the Summer of George!
So, Nige, those are your options. Which is a better summer?
I'm hanging out with George all summer, baby. You know me.
The summer of George, landslide winner. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
For the first time ever since opening its doors, the Indianapolis Men's Clinic is now the only men's health organization offering an intimacy guarantee. That's right. If you don't perform, you don't pay. You heard that right. Restoring intimacy is important to everyone. Helping men with a proven solution is what drives success. That's why the Indianapolis Men's Clinic stands by their intimacy guarantee. Now you will have the assurance and confidence of proven outcomes without the fear of financial loss. By using the latest technology for the treatment of ED, acoustic wave therapy uses pressure waves to open existing blood vessels, which restores spontaneity and intimacy for you and your loved one. Stop trusting companies that feed you empty promises with no results. Trust an intimacy guarantee. Trust the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000 or IndianapolisMen'sClinic.com.
The Indiana Derby is one of the best days of summer. It's the state's biggest horse racing event with over $1 million in total purse money on the line. This is Racing Rachel inviting you to Horseshoe Indianapolis, Saturday, July 8th for all the fun. The Indiana Derby has a loaded card with 8 stakes races featuring some of the nation's top 3-year-old thoroughbreds. And off track at Horseshoe Indianapolis, we've got loads of other Derby entertainment for fans too, like a free cigar rolling station for the first 500 people, a hat contest and free handicapping contest, a $3,000 mega bet drawing, a jockey virtual reality racing experience, merch giveaways, and more. All ages are welcome, plus admission and parking are free. First race is noon, and racing goes rain or shine with plenty of seating both indoors and out. So join us for the Indiana Derby, July 8th at Horseshoe Indianapolis, just off I-74 in Shelbyville. Come on out and have a day.
Need a new bank for your small business? How about an old one? For a limited time, you can earn up to a $500 cash bonus when you open a free or basic business checking account with Old National. So think big when it comes to your small business and choose a bank where relationships and results have mattered for nearly 200 years. Visit a local banking center or learn more at oldnational.com/success today. Complete qualifying activities within 60 days of account opening. $50 minimum initial deposit required. Account must remain open 120 days. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
I just wish Mom could hear better on the phone.
Dad gets so upset with me when I call. I wish it were different.
The CapTel Caption phone from Relay Indiana allows you to speak into the phone, and your words appear on a bright, easy-to-read screen. Conversations occur naturally with added clarity.
I used to love our phone chats. I wish it was like before.
Now it can be with the CapTel Caption phone. Go to RelayIndiana.com and call 334-1413 today.
Indiana Digital Learning School is the perfect choice for students who desire an academic challenge with an education plan tailored to their individual needs and interests. Do you have an advanced teen that would benefit from dual enrollment opportunities that allow them to earn high school and college credits? Indiana Digital Learning School is a tuition-free online public school now enrolling for the 2023-24 school year. Learn more at k12.com/INDLS. Indiana Digital Learning School, committed to the success of every student.
Receive 40% off all products, plus special manufacturer rebates and up to 20 months, no interest, no payments. Just go to bwindow.com. We'll take care of the rest.
Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win tickets to see Winborn's Music of Pink Floyd, Friday, September 8th at TCU Amphitheater at White River State Park.
Hey, Matt Baer, what's going on?
Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic, Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. We hit the brakes again after 69 down to East 56. The crash is cleared. Inbound 65 jams at 21st. Inbound is 70, stop and go traffic from Belmont to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by B Windows. Celebrate B Windows' 40-year anniversary with 40% savings on all their products. Plus, manufacturers' rebates, get 20 months, no interest, no payments. Trust me. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Right now, we have cloudy skies, 74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Let's do a little booze news.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents Booze News, Booze News. Yeah. La, 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 la.
Who's News. All right, we all know the Bud Light thing, right? About 10 weeks ago, they were under fire. They lost its spot as America's top-selling beer because they hired transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney for some sort of online marketing campaign where they put his face. Dylan Mulvaney is a man that pretends to be a little girl. And not only that, but their marketing person,
Alyssa Heinerschneid,
who, according to this article, is in an $8 million apartment close to Central Park, appeared on a podcast earlier this year in March to promote Bud Light's new marketing imaging. And she said the company, quote, needed to update its fratty image and change its out-of-touch humor. So basically slamming her customer base.
Bud Light sponsors like the NFL draft. So you're going to tell me, Heinerschneid, that you're going to look at all these red-blooded American football fans that probably have some fratty culture in them and say, we don't want you anymore?
And as a side to that, if you remember, there were images leaked online that showed Heinerschneid basically partaking in similar behavior she was criticizing during some sort of Harvard social club event where they're, drinking, holding condoms up to their mouths, just stuff like that. Fratty stuff.
Right.
Sorority sister stuff. So apparently after that all went down, they were placed on leave. Her and the guy that hired her.
Daniel Blake was this guy's name.
And her name was, I don't even know what her first name
Alyssa.
is. Alyssa.
Allison, we need to get you involved in this. In your best, loud, obnoxious, yelling voice, what's this woman's last name?
Heinerschneid!
Yeah! Well done.
But according to this article in the Daily Caller, sources said they are no longer with the company. They were originally placed on leave, but because, if the company were to come out and say they were fired, that leads them to open for lawsuits.
Okay.
They are no longer with the company, her and the guy that hired her.
So you're telling me after this disastrous woke rollout of an ad campaign where they've lost billions in stock value, millions in dollars, and they're no longer the number one ranked beer, these people lost their jobs? Yep. Don Jr., your thoughts?
No shit. Who could have seen that coming? I had no idea.
More booze news.
By the way, just real quick, and I thought this was really interesting in this article. It says that the wholesalers of the distributors, the beer, would have had an absolute, just gone nuts with Anheuser-Busch leadership if they did not remove those people. So it was real. It's a real thing that happened, and it wasn't just. And I went to the local liquor store the other day and asked the lady behind the counter, "Hey, look, I know this is, nationally they talk about that, but have you noticed anything in this particular liquor store that you?" Oh yeah, definitely. We are down. The sales are down precipitously.
I'd like to file this next story under please do not try this.
Okay.
Please do not try this. A UK man went on vacation with his family in Jamaica, and he tried to do this challenge that involved drinking all 21 cocktails featured on the bar's menu.
Whoa.
He did that, and he died. Timothy Southern, he finished 12 of the 21 cocktails on the menu when he went back to his hotel room at the Club Caribbean in St. Anne. He died. And a pathologist in Kingston said the man's cause of death was due to alcohol consumption, and that was backed up by the coroner.
So he didn't even make it to 21.
Halfway, basically. So please do not try this.
Where was he at? Oh, Jamaica. So there was a rash of deaths there, I feel like, a few years ago in those Caribbean countries.
Jamaica, Cancun had a couple.
Like where Bahamas, where they, the customers would come down there, order drinks or get drinks out of the mini bar in the hotel room, and the next day they don't wake up. Now, I'm willing to bet, 12 in a row, various cocktails. I wonder how long it took them.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think I want to find out. And it's one thing
I've had 12 cocktails in a day before. Are you kidding me?
Well, I have two, but
not one right after the other.
One right after the other in a different place. Maybe they make their drinks a little stronger there. I don't know. I've never been to Jamaica before, but
I have.
Have you?
I thought you went for your honeymoon.
No, I went to Cancun for our
Cancun.
honeymoon.
Yeah, I went to Jamaica Sandals Resort for our honeymoon.
How much weed did you smoke?
I was offered it, but I did not smoke it. No, we didn't really leave the resort.
I don't believe you. Real quick, I am in a bit of a ticket bind. Can I have a moment of personal privilege here? So I got 4 tickets to the Savannah Bananas baseball game on Thursday.
Ooh, that's a tough one to get.
It is, man. And I waited. I got my pre-sale notification, all that kind of stuff. I have 4 tickets for Thursday. Can't go. Now, I have an open date on Friday. So if anybody has Friday tickets that you're willing to trade for the Thursday tickets, I'll meet you somewhere. We'll do the swap.
Okay.
But if not, I'm going to have to probably sell these or something, get my money back, because work stuff and family stuff has made it so I can't go on Thursday.
Is this like the Indians play like the Washington General, like the Harlem Globetrotters?
Kind of,
except for baseball?
Right. So the Savannah Bananas, they do funny stuff, and it's a big popular deal that tours around the country. I got 4 tickets for Thursday. I can't go Thursday. So if anybody has the Friday tickets and you're willing to play, let's make a deal with me here. We could just do a little swap-a-rooney and we'll call it a day. Maybe I'll throw a little something else on the top. Hit me up here. I'm easy to find. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Tony Katz here, and QC Kinetics is helping people every day here and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue, utilizing the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have the agonizing pain. This non-invasive approach helps you take back control of your body, relieving the pain in knees, hips, shoulders, or your back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Call now for your free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics is in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel. So call 317-559-PAIN. That's 317-559-PAIN in Eagle Creek, in Greenwood, and now in Carmel. QC Kinetics, 317-559-PAIN.
We all know that feeling. Unexpectedly, the car breaks down, costing you hundreds or thousands of dollars from your emergency fund. Protect yourself and your car with Ox Car Care. Avoid the headaches and save thousands of dollars on repairs. You don't pay, Ox pays. Get 0 repair bills and 0 headaches. Ox takes care of their claims from start to finish. Unlike the other warranty companies, Ox Car Care members get free oil changes, free tire rotations, and free roadside assistance. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee and are A+ rated with the BBB. Drive with peace of mind, like our friend Bill Auberlin, professional race car driver.
Hi, I'm Bill Auberlin. My cars mean everything to my success. The same goes for my personal cars, too. That's why I trust Ox Car Care to make sure I'm covered when expenses and repairs come up. Ox Car Care has my back, and they'll have yours, too.
Drive with peace of mind. Call Ox Car Care for a free quote. 800-240-1465. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-240-1465. 800-240-1465. Or oxcarcare.com.
It's a 300-degree sauna in this house right now. We have to get this AC fixed before we all melt.
A bit dramatic, don't you think?
Honey, we're melting in here and can't take it much longer.
Literally melting.
Okay, I know who to call.
At Mr. Quick, we keep your AC system running smoothly all summer. Call Mr. Quick today and get $54 off any AC repair. And now you can easily schedule online at callmrquick.com.
Call Mr. Quick for on time.
Hey, Pat Sullivan here. If you're dusting off your hose for the first time since last year and notice the water isn't flowing, might be an issue with the hose bib. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to give you a deal and help you to have some fun in the sun and keep your grass green this summer. During the month of June, if you install one hose bib, Hope will give you a second hose bib at half price. Call Hope Plumbing today at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Coming up in 2 minutes, when you can expect more severe weather. IMPD is investigating a fatal shooting in the east side and how much money Indiana's getting for more internet access. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
A High Court ruling on speech. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The Supreme Court clarifies when threats are protected by the First Amendment.
Justices say it's not enough for prosecutors to prove a reasonable person would view a message as threatening. Instead, prosecutors must also show the person making the threat knew they were making a threat. The case stems from the conviction of a Colorado man who sent hundreds of Facebook messages containing written ramblings and violent language to a musician. Attorneys for Billy Countman argued the man was mentally unstable and did not view the messages as threatening. The 7-2 opinion raises the threshold to prosecute violent threats over objections from political leaders and the Justice Department. The opinion sends the conviction back to lower courts to review.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The Supreme Court has ruled that state courts can act as a check on their legislatures in redistricting and other issues affecting federal elections. The court rejecting arguments by North Carolina Republicans it should overrule a decision by North Carolina's top court that struck down a congressional districting plan as excessively partisan under state law. Russian President Vladimir Putin hailing Russian military following an attempted revolt.
President Putin addressed more than 2,500 personnel at a square in the Kremlin. You saved our motherland from turmoil, he tells them. In fact, you stopped a civil war. President Putin was joined by Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, one of the men who Wagner Group leader Yevgeny Prigozhin demanded be removed. Prigozhin and the Wagner troops have been offered amnesty and exile in Belarus.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Stock indexes ending the day higher following a report suggesting the economy's in better shape than feared. The Dow up 211, the S&P 49 points higher, the Nasdaq ending the day up 219 points. I'm Merrick is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How strong the storms were. 73 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear. Tonight's low drops to about 57. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. 4 tornadoes have been confirmed from last Sunday's storms, with the most dangerous being closer to southern Indiana.
Yeah, so I think the longest track that we had was the Martin and Du Bois County in our far southern portion of central Indiana. That had a path of about 9 miles.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service. One person died in that storm. Johnson County was hit with an EF2 tornado. Mello says more severe weather could be here by Thursday. One person was killed after a shooting on the east side this afternoon. IMPD says they found the victim just after 3 off 21st Street near the Budget 8N. A suspect name has not been reported. If you know anything, call IMPD. The Brown elementary teacher who was accused of telling a special needs student to eat his own vomit had their teacher's license revoked last week. Indiana Secretary of Education Katie Jenner stepped in last Tuesday and made the decision to revoke Sarah Seymour's license. Seymour can petition to have her license reinstated in 3 years. Indiana will receive over $868 million in federal funding to expand high-speed internet access. Donnie Burgess reports.
The state has 180 days to submit its initial proposals for high-speed broadband grant programs. The money, which comes from a program attached to the federal infrastructure law, allows states to push for better internet access and coverage. Indiana also has local and state-level partnerships, including one announced for Crawfordsville last week. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
How would you feel if you missed out on $150,000? John Herrick reports someone bought a winning Powerball ticket worth that much in Maryville last year, but they haven't cashed in.
The Hoosier Lottery says whoever bought it matched 4 out of the 5 numbers and the Powerball December 31st at a Speedway gas station in Maryville. The ticket has to be turned in no later than 4:30 Thursday afternoon at the Hoosier Lottery Prize Payment Office in Indianapolis. All Hoosier Lottery draw game prizes have to be claimed within 180 days of the drawing. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Traffic and weather's next. Your time is 4:04.
Meet Edwina. She loves summers in Indy, but hates to paint year after year, so she called Rhino Shield.
So over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
I'd had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here and picking up things in the yard. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05. How are the roads, Matt Bear?
They are not bad right now, Harrison. In fact, we look pretty good in some spots that we normally don't. Inbound 65 is stop and go right now from 21st to the north, splitting a little bit of drag. Eastbound 70 right around Harding. Northbound 465 in Lawrence, that slows up from I-70 to Penn Pike, drags up to I-69. Traffic sponsored by Isaacs and Isaacs. Were you hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident? The insurance companies don't have the advantage of video proof that the Hammer may have. Call today or visit roadproof.wewin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hazy, mild, and foggy overnight. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow will start your day with mild conditions, areas of fog, and by afternoon seeing sunshine and warmer conditions as temperatures warm to the mid to upper 80s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
So, Hammer, you heard Harrison Silcox, our news guy there at the top of the hour, mention somebody named Sarah Seymour. She is the Brownsburg teacher, I guess I should say former Brownsburg teacher, who has been accused of making a special needs student eat his own vomit. Just a terrible story all around. Now, he did say something in that report that caught my ear I wasn't aware of. Well, first of all, sure, the point of the story was that she had her teacher's license revoked. I think that's pretty much obvious. But he said something at the end of that story that, raised an eyebrow. This woman, who, again, allegedly made a special needs student eat his own vomit, can petition to have her license reinstated in 3 years. The license got revoked last week. She's charged with a felony count of neglect of a dependent, misdemeanor count of failure to report, and she can get her license back in 3 years, or at the very least petition.
I think it all ultimately depends on what happens in the case, right? If it's a stone cold lock that she's guilty and she's got that felony on her record, that's going to be tough for anybody to agree to give her license back.
Yeah, but so even if maybe it gets pled down and she doesn't have a felony, but it's still on her record, you're telling me in 3 years there's a possibility of this person who is accused of doing some pretty heinous stuff of getting her license reinstated, or teaching license? No way. I wouldn't even have the balls to do that if I were in her situation. I'd probably try to find a different line of work and get some serious help, some serious counseling.
Now, for those who don't remember the details of this story,
I don't want to. They're awful.
It was a special needs student who was verbally challenged, couldn't really speak. And it wasn't just this woman. There were others involved in the story in Brownsburg that they had a problem with this student who had a history of eating so much food at lunch would throw up. Well, one day they made this child eat his own vomit. And this is one of the most heinous, disgusting things I've heard from a long time. And now there are so many questions about how long was this going on? Did Brownsburg know any more information? were they trying to cover this up? Were they trying to keep it from the family? There's a lot of stuff we still don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Fair questions that need to be asked about this story. But this is awful.
And then I guess looking down the line after it's all said and done, the fact that she could petition to have her license reinstated, her teaching license, is ludicrous. There's no way anybody should ever give this person a license to be around kids ever again.
And her losing her license, I don't want that to be the worst part about what's going to happen to this woman. Because if this is true, let the justice system run its course. I get all that. But there's video, right? There's video of this. I want this woman charged because this is heinous. This is awful.
Well, she was charged.
Well, I want her to officially be locked up. This woman needs to be behind bars. Okay. Absolutely. You can't do that to somebody who can't think for themselves or speak for themselves. Like, if you're not going to lock this horrible witch up, then who are you going to lock up? What are you going to do? Again, assuming everything plays out the way that it looks, but there's video involved and multiple witnesses. We also heard earlier that the National Weather Service has confirmed 4 tornadoes hit on Sunday.
So I thought it was only 2 or 3.
We heard 3 yesterday.
3 yesterday. Yeah.
It's been upgraded to 4. Surveys recorded tornadoes hit Johnson County and southwestern Monroe, in Davies and northern Martin counties, and in southern Martin and northern Du Bois counties. Now, the biggest ones, the one that hit Johnson County, that took place from 4:13 p.m. until 4:23 p.m. This was 5.4 miles. That was the length. The maximum width of this tornado was 200 to 400 yards. So think about that. If a football field is 100 yards, up to 4 football fields in length, the peak winds were 115, which would put that in the F2 category.
It certainly was no joke. I mean, it missed us. It missed. I think you kind of missed it. But to some of those outlier counties, man, they endured some heavy damage. I saw more pictures this morning on Wish. Over the past couple of days, they've been showing all the damage that was done. I mean, it wasn't as bad, luckily, as we experienced a few months ago. But it was still, I mean, try telling that doesn't make the people feel any better that it affected.
And one of the other big ones took place in southern Martin and northern Du Bois County, 434 to 446. So this was just kind of outside of the WIBC listening area. Now, we got a pretty strong signal, but this was a little bit outside. Estimated peak winds were 120 miles an hour. Again, this was an F2. The maximum width of this storm, 565 yards wide. There was 1 injury and unfortunately 1 fatality with this one that took place in southern Martin and northern Du Bois County.
Have you ever had to take evasive action, so to speak, during a severe thunderstorm where there was a possible tornado involved? Did you have to go to your bathroom and put your head between your knees and take shelter?
We've had to go to different areas before, yes. A number of years ago, there was a tornado that came through. If you remember, this was a day where the Indy 500 was taking place.
Oh, yeah.
And the Pacers also had a home playoff game that night.
Yeah.
And a tornado came through. So, we're at home, so we go down to the basement, do all the things. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Any damage?
No. Now, long time ago, our wedding reception hall got damaged by a tornado like a month before our wedding reception. So we had to scramble and find a new location.
The only time, knock on wood here, or whatever this crap is that we're sitting on, was, I believe, a couple of months ago. We heard the sirens going off. The kids woke up in the middle of the night. What is that? What is going on? The storm, and it was raging. I go, yeah, we better go down to the basement. And
middle of the nights are so scary because you can't walk outside and really see a lot.
Yeah, so we did that a few months ago, but 5 minutes later, we were back up the kids ended up sleeping with Mom, and I went to sleep on the bunk bed after that because of the storm. So
are you the typical Indiana dad like I am, to where you hear the sirens going off, You walk outside to see what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
I got to admit, I'm a little leery of being struck by lightning. When it's, I'll sit in my garage, but I don't think I'm going to go wander out in the middle of the driveway.
Right.
Or the street to take it all in.
You're not going to hold up a metal sword and just...
No. Like a golf club in Caddyshack. Yeah, no.
We haven't had one of these in a while. We have a lewd nude dude in the news.
Here's another lewd nude dude in the news.
Dateline, Miami, Florida. Body camera footage shows the arrest of a naked man accused of trying to steal a jet ski. Now, keep this in mind. They see a lot of nudity in South Beach. Some folks, they think it's like a European environment. You'll see some nudity on a beach in South Beach.
Not the kind you want to see, usually.
No. Especially with this case. Here's the report from the ABC affiliate in Miami.
According to the arrest form, the manager of the company that rents out those jet skis confronted the suspect, Yakov Levi, who then allegedly grabbed a paddle and hit him over the head. He then ran into the water, where the situation went from bad to worse. Officers on a Marine unit tried to reach him, but he was still combative and at one point even took off his swim trunks. He began making lewd gestures, splashing officers and throwing sand at them. Well, even when Levi was brought back to shore, he continued kicking and swinging his... The 47-year-old was booked into jail on a number of charges, including aggravated battery, resisting arrest with violence, and grand theft.
He was making lewd gestures towards the cops while he was naked on the jet ski. Yeah, come and get it, baby! I'm doing the helicopter right now, baby. The flapjacks. Come on.
The folks on the YouTube stream just got a treat right there. Can you isolate my favorite part of that whole thing, Allison?
Well, even when Levi was brought back to shore, he continued kicking and swinging his...
I don't know what we can and can't say here, so we bleeped it out just to be sure.
What did she say? Did she use the anatomically correct word for
correct?
Crank?
Yes, a word that rhymes with penis. So I wasn't sure if we could play it or not, so we beeped it out.
I got a question. First, we could do the closer too if we want, just real quick.
This has been another
lewd nude dude.
Okay.
In the news.
You said word that rhymes with penis, and I want to ask everybody this. I want to know if anybody else has heard this. My kids are now telling me that this portion of your elbow...
Like the little skin at the end?
Skin at the end of your elbow. Like when you hold your arm straight, it kind of sags a little bit. My kids claim that is called your weenus.
No way. That's not a weenus.
Allison, have you heard that?
Yeah, growing up in elementary school, that's what I was...
You have!
I've heard the rumor. I don't know if it's true, but as a kid, that's always been hilarious.
The fleshy part of your elbow. Maybe we should type it. Can you type it in Google real quick?
Screw that. Call Dr. Box, Allison. Get over there on the hotline. I want you to call Dr. Box right now.
Call the health commissioner and say, is the fleshy part of your elbow actually indeed, the medical term is a weenus?
Weenus. There's no way that could be real. I've never heard that, but there's no way. No possible way.
You, have you typed it in yet?
According to Merriam-Webster, it is a slang word for the excess or loose skin
at
the end of the joint.
So this isn't even in the Urban Dictionary. That's the Merriam-Webster Dictionary?
The real dictionary has weenus in it. You learn something new every day.
I learned it from my kids.
I learned it from watching you. Wow. Matt Bear, did you know that?
I have my hands nowhere near my elbows. Northbound 465 in Lawrence right now. Slow after I-70 past East 56th Street. And then inbound 65 stop and go right now. 29th Street down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow to downtown from Harding Street to Meridian, Illinois. Traffic sponsored by LASIK Vision Institute. The LASIK Vision Institute is making LASIK even more affordable. Get $1,000 off LASIK when treated in July. That's $500 off per eye plus guaranteed financing. Visit LASIK.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Yeah, Barry on Twitter at Hammer and Nigel. My teenage children have been calling the elbow a weenus for years.
Wow.
Courtney, it's definitely a weenus.
All right. Case closed.
73 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
For the first time ever since opening its doors, the Indianapolis Men's Clinic is now the only men's health organization offering an intimacy guarantee. That's right. If you don't perform, you don't pay. You heard that right. Restoring intimacy is important to everyone. Helping men with a proven solution is what drives success. That's why the Indianapolis Men's Clinic stands by their intimacy guarantee. Now you will have the assurance and confidence of proven outcomes without the fear of financial loss. By using the latest technology for the treatment of ED, acoustic wave therapy uses pressure waves to open existing blood vessels, which restores spontaneity and intimacy for you and your loved one. Stop trusting companies that feed you empty promises with no results. Trust an intimacy guarantee. Trust the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000 or IndianapolisMen'sClinic.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
GeoFocus Academy is the premier online private school for Indiana students, helping students build a successful future regardless of race, income, or geographic boundaries. 96% of Indiana residents qualify to attend tuition-free using the Indiana Choice Scholarship. With certified teachers and hands-on learning from home, you can create a bright future for your child. Now enrolling grades K through 12 for the 2023-2024 school year. Learn more at k12.com/GFA. GeoFocus Academy, where education clicks.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, the house I live in is pretty old. The garage floor had never been maintained. And when Galaxy Coatings came in and put their new coating on, it transformed my garage into something brand new. The other cool thing is they also put that same coating on the wooden steps leading up to the entrance of my house. They could do garages, basements, pool decks, any indoor or outdoor area concrete. My new Galaxy garage floor is out of this world. Check out their website, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call their office, 751-9070.
Let us send you your home's value today. Go to HoosierHomeValues2023.com. From Crossroads Collective, title sponsor of the first day, Sundays 11 to 1.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, is this anything? How do we play it?
Well, I'm going to run a couple different stories by you. You simply tell me if the story in question is anything or not. So there's a road rage situation here between this gray-haired older guy and a cyclist. And it sounds like the gray-haired older dude has had just about enough of the cyclist. Really? The cyclist keeps referring to a specific road rule that allows him to ride his bike in the same lane as cars. And then he points out the painted bike logo is in the middle of the traffic lane here. Take a listen and let me know what you think.
Tough guy. You want to be a tough
Call the
guy?
cops.
You're not so tough right now, are you?
Call the cops.
You're not so tough, are you, small guy? You're a short
I'm following the
little guy.
law. You're not following the law.
You're a tiny little man. Think you're a
Vehicle
big
code.
shot. My name is your worst enemy. I'm your huckleberry, buddy. You short little hunk. You come through this town thinking you're really cool on your bike, like you own this lane. Look, at the bike lane is on this
It's
side.
called share
It's
row.
right in the middle of the street,
Share
buddy.
row. I get share row. I get
But
that entire
you came
lane.
around me like this.
You
came
blocked
around.
my way.
I
You
didn't
blocked
block
my
your way.
way.
I honked my horn because you were way over in our lane.
No, that's my lane.
No, it's not
share
your
row.
lane. You're lucky today,
Look at the
buddy.
law. I
You're
am.
lucky today.
What's your name?
My name is your worst enemy. You don't own the
You
road.
own the road?
I don't own the road.
See that sign right there? That's share row.
Huh?
Share row. See that symbol right there?
I don't give a
Yeah, that's something that was awesome. Oh, that old guy giving it to this young cyclist. Look, yeah, obviously bicycles are allowed on the road. I do get annoyed sometimes. Like, I'll see guys on like the professional grade 10 speeds on the road when there's a bike path just to the right.
They got the spandex on and all that. They're doing
using
it
the road.
big.
But they're allowed to do that. I would never, given the choice, riding my bike on the road or the path that's right next to it, I go the path every time. But these guys are like serious cyclists.
Right.
The road is in better shape than the path usually, and that's why they do that.
I do feel like there are some cyclists, though, that are looking for that type of interaction. Like you said, sometimes there's a path nearby that's wide open or like a major stretch of sidewalk or something and a busy road. They'll want intentionally to make you go around them because they want the attention. I think that's a thing. That's just my opinion. Is this anything? The mother and wife of two of the victims of the Titan accident that left 5 people dead is speaking out about the husband and son that she lost.
Oh, man.
Here is Christine Dawood talking about how she was originally supposed to be on that sub with her husband, but then she gave it up to her son.
Shazada was so excited to go down. He was like a little child. He had this ability of childlike excitement. So they both were so excited. It was supposed to be Shazada and I going down. But then I stepped back and gave the space to Suleiman because he really wanted to go.
Yeah, that's something. First of all, it flips the narrative on the head that the kid didn't want to go. We all heard that rumor, right?
Right, he just went to make his dad happy.
Exactly. He didn't want anything to do with it. He was scared. So now the mom is saying that it was actually me that was supposed to go, but I let him go instead. And that's, then what happened. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, I also read that who's the big time social media or YouTube guy, like the biggest, Mr. Beast? Have you heard of Mr. Beast, Allison? Do you know who Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast was supposed to be on that Titan submersible as well, and he decided not to go.
Should I know who that is? I just learned what a weenus is. I have no idea who Mr. Beast is.
The only reason I know who he is because my kids watch him sometimes on YouTube.
Yeah,
but that's something. That's sad, and that is what parent wouldn't trade places in a second with their kid? Yep.
Is this anything? FedEx was named in a lawsuit accusing them of rolling back the odometers of thousands of their trucks before they were sold.
No way.
This would be the largest odometer fraud scheme in American history. Here's Tom Layton, the used truck dealer that discovered the fraud, talking about what he found.
Over the last several years, I've noticed that some of the commercial trucks that have been going through my dealership had issues with the odometers. The FedEx contractor contacted me and said, "Hey, what are you trying to pull here?" And I said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I took this into Freightliner and had the vehicle hooked up to their computer, and it has over 400,000 miles, and your odometer says 180,000 miles."
Oh, wow, that is big. That's a major offense, too. I mean, for a company like FedEx to be involved in that, who's got infinite amounts of money to risk odometer fraud.
Right.
So I guess you could plug your FedEx truck up to the computer and can tell you how many miles it really has on it versus what the odometer actually says. They learned it from Cameron and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Just put it in reverse. Why didn't they do that?
They put it. They use a jack up both the wheels of the rear. Put a brick on the on the gas pedal and throw it in reverse.
Yep.
There's problem solved.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Rob, here's a number I'd like you to consider.
Yes.
35%.
Oh.
How would you like to get a 35% bonus when you invest your money?
Yes, please.
So if you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. And if you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. But don't wait, because this 35% bonus, it ends on Friday, June 30th.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. You can sleep well at night knowing your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Learn how you could get this 35% bonus by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy at 317-932-9912.
Remember, this 35% bonus offer ends on Friday, June 30th. So don't wait. Call today. Get your 35% bonus by calling 317-932-9912. That number, 317-932-9912.
Have you thought about buying a hot tub? Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We've worked hard to build back inventory these last 2 years, and our showrooms are packed. We've got new models, scratch and dents, and even several demos ready for delivery. No more waiting months. Our hot tubs can be yours today. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa. Addiction affects almost everyone. In fact, nearly 90% of people that struggle with substance abuse don't get help. Many people don't know where to start or think that treatment is ineffective or too expensive. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to tell you that's not true. We teach a curriculum that is both effective and affordable. You can learn how to live a happier and healthier life, a life that is free from addiction. Don't wait another day to get help. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to learn more.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
There could be more storms. 74 degrees with a clear radar downtown. Your radar is clear, but there could be some slight chances for rain tonight. Tonight's low drops to 56. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:31. It's only been a few days since severe weather hit the state. John Herrick reports why you should still keep an eye on your radar.
Beginning Wednesday, you could start seeing rain move in with severe weather possible on Thursday. But Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says that's not all.
I wouldn't rule out some more severe weather potential after Thursday.
He says the concerns for Thursday are damaging winds, hail, and the chance for an isolated tornado. Mello also believes the possibilities for storms exist through next Monday. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
One person was killed after a shooting in the east side this afternoon. IMPD says they found the victim just after 3 off 21st Street near the Budget 8N. A suspect name has not been reported. If you know anything, give IMPD a call. Canadian wildfires and severe weather has caused air quality to drop low enough that there's a no-zone action day declared for Indianapolis. The city's Office of Sustainability says there are too many unhealthy air particles floating around. The no-zone action day is for Tuesday and Wednesday. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is campaigning in New Hampshire today. So is Donald Trump.
He's holding an event right now, which is considered not nice, because candidates go through. It's not really nice, but he's holding an event right now to compete with us. There's only one problem. Nobody showed up. So he's having a little problem explaining that.
The latest NBC News poll shows former President Trump with 51% support from Republican primary voters. DeSantis has about half that. The U.S. is sending more help to Ukraine, says White House Deputy Press Secretary Olivia Dalton.
The Biden-Harris administration is announcing a new security assistance package for Ukraine as we continue to stand with the people of Ukraine as they defend themselves from Russia's brutal invasion.
The defense package includes mine-clearing equipment, armored vehicles, artillery rounds, equipment to strengthen air defenses, and ammunition. Many Americans are still having trouble at airports today. FlightAware says over 3,700 flights have been delayed in the U.S., with others being canceled. It's all being caused by severe weather in the Northeast. Your stock report today, the Dow finishing up 212 points to 33,926. The NASDAQ up 219 to 13,555. And the S&P 500 up by 49 to 4,378. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 434.
Real people are getting real and lasting pain relief at QC Kinetics.
Who would have thought that I would be in better shape now than after I got out of the Marines at 22? It's great to be active again.
I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything's great.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain? QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged tissue, natural healing agents from your own body, so your body can heal itself the way it was designed, with no pain pills, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Thanks to QC Kinetics, quality of life is just a lot better.
Definitely changed my life.
Call now to see if regenerative medicine could be the answer you've been looking for. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics have proven protocols that can give you lasting relief now, and the consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 463-235-7160. That's 463-235-7160. In Eagle Creek and Greenwood, 463-235-7160.
With traffic at 435, here's Matt Bear.
Eastbound 70 Hancock County, you're not going to believe it. Stop and go traffic from Mount Comfort Road for a couple of miles. Also in Lawrence, northbound 465. Stops after 70 shy of Penn Pike, then we are slow up to 69. Looking at the northwest side, northbound 465, that's stop and go traffic, 86 Street 2865. Westbound lanes also heavy around Michigan Road. Traffic sponsored by B Windows. Celebrate B Windows' 40-year anniversary with 40% savings on all of their products. Plus, manufacturer's rebates get 20 months, no interest, no payments. Trust B. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hazy, mild, and foggy overnight. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow will start your day with mild conditions, areas of fog, and by afternoon seeing sunshine and warmer conditions as temperatures warm to the mid to upper 80s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you think there was really any way Kevin McCarthy is going to impeach Attorney General Merrick Garland? Comes right down to it. This is all over the weaponization of the Department of Justice, the two IRS whistleblowers testifying in front of Congress that the Department of Justice's decisions in the Hunter Biden probe were influenced by politics, slow-walking the charges that the lawyer, the appointed special prosecutor, wanted to charge Hunter Biden with. Now House Speaker McCarthy saying they're going to impeach Merrick Garland over this. Okay.
Should Merrick Garland be impeached? Absolutely. Do the Republicans have it in them? No. Merrick Garland could walk up to a hearing, a congressional hearing, buck naked with nothing but a gavel in his hand and says, I hate Republicans, and he's swinging it around, and there'll be some Republican that's like, well, I just think it's too soon. We can't do that. No. Because the Republicans are weak, and this is what they do. And this is why they've been losing elections.
I mean, the Democrats were in lockstep with each other with two sham impeachments for Donald Trump. No question about it. I mean, they got it done. I mean, just like that. And now we were talking about impeaching Mayorkas, Homeland Secretary, who's been doing a miserable job at the border. There was the Freedom Caucus that wanted to, or I guess Boebert specifically, that wants to impeach Joe Biden. They didn't have the stomach for that. I just kind of see the same thing happening. I hope I'm wrong.
I do too, but we've seen this movie before. A lot of tough talk, a lot of sound bites and zingers, and we'll play the sound bites back on this show. But when it's all said and done, Merrick Garland's going to go home, eat a steak, not be a Supreme Court justice, and continue doing a horrible job because the Republicans don't have it in them. Democrats play for keeps. Republicans try to be nice. And that's the problem right now. This is why they've been getting their panties handed to them in election after election. And don't tell me, well, they took over the House in the midterms. Barely. It should have been a landslide in the midterms. Look at all the material you've got in front of you. But the lack of ground game, the lack of toughness is why these Republicans keep losing. And I'm saying this as somebody that votes Republican. This is a problem. If you can't criticize your own, what are you doing? You got to be honest. This is a problem, and it concerns me about 2024.
I mean, I do think the IRS whistleblower with the text from Hunter Biden to his Chinese business partner, some energy oligarch in China, about, hey, look, I got my dad right here, and you haven't paid us yet. Where is it? And then a week or two later, wow, the money's in the bank. That's a problem for the Bidens. The press corps has started peppering the White House press secretary about these things, and then lo and behold, voila, we have this tape leaked from the Department of Justice and Merrick Garland of Donald Trump talking about classified and declassified documents.
And oh, by the way, another $500 million going to Ukraine that absolutely, positively, in no way probably quiets them down just a little bit.
Don't say.
Man, a lot going on with Donald Trump. We played the audio earlier, that 90-second or so audio clip that came out of Donald Trump. Was he showing classified documents to people in a room? Did he know they were classified or unclassified? That's a big deal. But this story, I don't know if he's going to be able to recover from, Nigel.
Trump?
This may be the thing that does Donald Trump in. Samuel L. Jackson has called him a redneck.
No. The actor?
Samuel L. Jackson in a new interview.
Like Snakes on a Plane?
Yes.
Guy? Pulp Fiction? Sam Jackson?
Says that he sees in former President Trump the same rednecks who hurled racial slurs at him as a kid. Quote, "When I grew up in segregation, I knew which white people didn't want to be bothered with me, and I knew how they felt about me. When I see Trump, I see the same rednecks I saw growing up, those who tried to keep me in my place. That is what the Republican Party is to me. They're doing it to young people, gay people. They don't care who you are. If you're not them, you're the enemy."
That's so disingenuous. Give me a break. First of all, Sam Jackson's 75 years old, so if you're getting called racial slurs when you're in college age in the 60s, it's probably a Democrat that's calling you that. It's the KKK was organized by Democrats, and for him to kind of implicate that it's worse today than it was back then is just ridiculous.
Tim Scott would like to have a word with you.
Absolutely. And I encourage, Donald Trump signed one of the biggest pieces of prison reform legislation disproportionately affecting African Americans incarcerated during his time as president. Yeah, it holds no water. It's just the blah, 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 blah. Same old thing.
Over the weekend, Ice Cube put out a long video on social media. Basically, and he wouldn't come out and say it. He kind of danced around it. But the Democratic Party has done nothing for the black community. And, because if you remember, Ice Cube put together this contract for Black America that he wanted to work with folks on. Donald Trump met with him. Donald Trump was open to it. Joe Biden just kind of gave him the old Heisman Trophy stiff arm and went and hid it in his basement. But on the subject of Samuel L. Jackson, great moments in Samuel L. Jackson history. This is when he was doing a media tour for some movie or something he has coming out. And I think this was in South Carolina. I could be wrong. Whoever their entertainment reporter is got him confused for Lawrence Fishburne.
I tell you what, you working for Marvel, the Super Bowl commercial, did you get a lot of reaction to that Super Bowl commercial?
What Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, you know what? I've been my mistake.
See, you're as crazy as the people on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
That's my fault. I know that. That was my fault. My mistake. You know what?
We don't all look alike. We're all black and famous.
You are guilty. I am guilty. I am guilty.
He thought you were Bob Dylan.
Right. That's right.
You're the entertainment reporter.
I know.
You're the entertainment reporter for this station.
Vlog.
And you don't know the difference between me and Lawrence Fishburne?
My mistake. My mistake. I apologize.
Great moments in Samuel L. Jackson history.
Pretty good.
So where are we at with this here, Nigel? A biology professor at a Texas community college claimed that he was fired for religious preaching to the students. Now, the religious preaching that's being questioned was he told his biology class that sex is determined by X and Y chromosomes. And that wasn't good enough for these students. They claimed he was pushing religion on them, and the dude lost his gig.
How is teaching biology pushing religion on people by saying, sex is determined by the X and Y chromosome?
He'd been a teacher there for 20 years.
That's basic stuff. That's what I had learned. It's like one of the first things in biology I learned when I was a kid.
4 students walked out of his lecture hall when he said sex was determined by the X and Y chromosomes.
I weep for the future, man.
Here's an interview that he did with someone talking about the religious teachings he allegedly pushed on kids.
They wrote you a letter, and they said there were several reports of, and this is in quotes now, religious preaching, discriminatory comments about homosexuals and transgender individuals, anti-abortion rhetoric, and misogynistic banter. Did that happen in your classroom?
No.
Did the letter include any examples?
No. The thing is, what they said is that my teaching was offensive and unacceptable. That's only 2 words that they use.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Teaching biology.
Right.
Sex is determined by the X and Y chromosome. That may be literally the first thing you learn when you take biology in junior high.
This wasn't a math class. This wasn't some sort of world history class. This was biology. And the dude's been there 20 years, but now students are walking out when you say sex is determined by the X and Y chromosomes. One more story about what's happening in college here. This is from the New York Times. A Harvard behavior scientist was doing a big study on honesty, right? How honest are people? Well, now she's been put on administrative leave because it turns out she lied about the data in the report. Harvard Business School's Francesca Gino allegedly chalked up phony results tied to studies, including one focused on honest behavior. And again, this is from the New York Times. She's placed on leave, and according to the business school webpage, she's still listed as of mid-May.
Boy, you lie about the results of some study, you get fired, but you lie about your American Indian heritage there at Harvard, they'll promote you straight to the top.
That's right. They'll give you grants and scholarships, and they'll let you work all the way through, which this brings us to great moments in lying. Remember when Ari was our producer, we sent him out the day after Donald Trump came out with his immigration plan, and we had Ari just lie and make stuff up and see how many people he could get to believe it. The Hammer and Nigel Show presents Great Moments in Lying.
So yesterday, the president kind of unveiled his immigration plan, and one of the more controversial points, I'm sure you heard about this, was how he said he wanted to deport people like immigrants like Justin Bieber and Jennifer Lopez. I mean, when you heard that, what was your thought about that?
They are actually really influential to our country, and I've done a lot here. And I've been really successful, so, I mean, they're not from here, but they've done a lot for this country.
Jennifer Lopez was born in New York.
Yesterday, the president revealed his immigration plan, but the real controversial point of it, I don't know if you heard about this, was that he specifically mentioned deporting immigrants like Justin Bieber and Jennifer Lopez. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Bieber, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, the guy's acting the fool, man. He's got some bunch of DUIs and whatnot, or stuff like that. I don't think they allow that up in Canada.
I feel like Jennifer Lopez, she kind of has a right to stay.
Yeah, she's Puerto Rican, isn't she?
Great moments in lying. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has green-lighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify and receive your free tax assessment by dialing 800-864-9559. If you or your business owe back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-864-9559. 800-864-9559. That's 800-864-9559.
I know a lot of people were like me. You were looking for a fresh start, something new to get your physical health going on a positive track. You've tried the big box gyms. That didn't seem to work. You don't have a lot of time, but you're just dying to make a lifestyle change. That's why I got with Exercise Inc. They've been helping clients change their lives in 20 minutes a week for more than 18, now going on 19 years. I'm stronger. I have more energy to play with my kids. I feel a lot healthier. And here's the best part. The studio is private. They never have more than 3 or 4 clients at a time. And you get your own trainer. You get your own personal coach that'll not only help you get you the physical exercise you need inside the gym, but will hold you accountable in reaching your health and fitness goals and dietary goals outside of the gym as well. There are a ton of success stories on their website, exerciseinc.com. They have 4 locations, Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood. I go to the one in Zionsville. Exercise Inc. Change your life in just 20 minutes a week. Fellas, June is National Men's Health Month, which is a good time to remind you to take care of your health. We recommend going to the Low T Center. It's typically completely covered by most health insurance, and if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for full labs and an office visit with the provider.
The Low T Center specializes in men's health, making it quick and easy. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. That's lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
That's Faber's B-Window. Trust me.
In the last 40 years, over 80,000, that's right, 80,000 Indiana families have trusted their home to B-Window. Help us celebrate our 40th year anniversary and receive 40% off all products, plus special manufacturer rebates and up to 20 months, no interest, no payments. Just go to bwindow.com. We'll take care of the rest.
That's Faber's B-Window. Trust me.
Faith Prep Academy of Indiana helps children unlock their purpose and explore their passion in a supportive faith-based environment. Faith Prep is a flexible online private school that enables students to reach academic excellence, develop Christian character, and discover their gifts and talents. Now enrolling grades K through 12. 96% of Indiana residents qualify for significant financial aid through the Indiana Choice Scholarship. Learn more at k12.com/faithin. Faith Prep Academy of Indiana. Learning with purpose.
Receive 40% off all products, plus special manufacturer rebates and up to 20 months, no interest, no payments. Just go to bwindow.com. We'll take care of the rest.
Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds, starts with a festive street party from 6 to 10, thanks to Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana. Fireworks at 10 p.m., sync to music on many Radio 1 stations. Learn more at downtownindy.org/4thfest.
What's a good word, Matt Bear?
And we're looking at Lawrence right now, northbound 465 stop and go traffic from 70 up to East 56. And this is a crash on the northwest side, southbound 465 and I-65. Right lane is blocked. The off-ramp to 65 partially blocked. It's a mess. Step to 71st. Traffic sponsored by B Windows. Celebrate B Windows' 40-year anniversary with 40% savings on all of their products. Plus, manufacturers' rebates get 20 months, no interest, no payments. Trust me. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
74 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, and we got some legal stuff. Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
So this is a headline from Indianapolis via Fox News. This got national attention, what happened here. This man's dude mugged a woman at gunpoint, then slid into her DMs to ask for a date.
Oh, no.
She was shaken up, obviously. She's being robbed outside of her house. And then the suspect, the guy, wanted to message her on Facebook and ask her out on a date. Here's Amber Barron telling her story to RTV6.
I had a man come up to me and try to rob me at gunpoint after I had got off work late one night.
Court documents state Boyce then pointed his gun at her and told her to add him on Facebook.
And I thought maybe if I added him on Facebook, that would be it, and he'd leave, and he did.
Court documents show after that friend request, he left. But that's not where their exchange ends. Instead, the DM started flowing. Court documents show Facebook messages between Boyce sent to Barron where he said he's going to pay her back. She was too pretty to rob.
But then he continued to message me on Facebook the next day.
He then made his move, asking her to come chill.
I just can't understand the thought process of somebody who would.
And he was ultimately charged in the armed robbery, held on $7,500 bond. Here's what everybody needs to know about Damian Boyce. Just a week before this armed robbery, he was arrested for a separate armed robbery on June 12th. He allegedly got into an argument and shot two people and hit another one in the head with a brick. And lo and behold, he was back out on the street thanks to, probably liberal progressive judges. Maybe throw Ryan Mears in there.
You mean a criminal was back out on the streets in Indianapolis?
Can you believe it?
I can't. Now, by the way, I'm looking at Amber Barron on Facebook. I found her profile. Sure enough, Damian Boyce is still a friend. Yeah. Would you have blocked this dude by this point?
I may have gotten rid of that friend request.
And if you have been blocked by Amber Barron, how horrible are you that you have been blocked, but Damian Boyce is still a friend of hers? It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Gilbert worked in retail and restaurant management for 14 years. It was time for a change.
I recognized where I was at was vulnerable to the whims of the economy.
Then he heard about My Computer Career. Gilbert went for it.
In as little as 7 months, I got all of my certifications at a fraction of a cost for college.
He became an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
I can work from anywhere. I have more time for my family as well.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Join us at Downtown Indy's Fourth Fest, presented by UA Local 440 on the Indiana War Memorial Grounds. The event begins with a street party featuring live music, games, food, ice cream, and a beer garden from 6 to 10 p.m., followed by a spectacular fireworks display. The street party is brought to you by Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana, reminding you that one organ and tissue donor can save 8 lives and heal 75 more. Sign up at donatelifeindiana.org and talk to your family about your decision. For more info about the fireworks, go to downtownindy.org.
Response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, so we're extending it through this Saturday. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments over as long as 5 years with special financing, or save up to $5,000 on the spot. It's our best finance offer ever and our most aggressive pricing. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable, but this amazing offer ends this Saturday and will not be extended. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Details and more at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great.
Seminars July 20th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or July 22nd at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
So this week is dance camp for Emmy. Blake's new baseball team practices on Tuesday and Thursday.
Oh, I'm tired just thinking about all of that. And summer just started.
Oh, and we still need to get the AC looked at. It's still too hot in the kids' rooms, and I do not want summer sleepovers to be sweat fests.
Now that is an easy one.
At Mr. Quick, we keep your AC system running smoothly all summer. Call Mr. Quick today and get $54 off any AC repair. And now you can easily schedule online at callmrquick.com.
Call Mr. Quick for on time.
Coming up in 2 minutes, you could be getting more rain in a few days. Indy Metro Police are investigating a fatal shooting near a motel on the east side. And Donnie Burgess reports on Indiana getting more funding for more internet access. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio. For the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios, you've got temperatures in the 70s downtown with some hazy skies from those Canadian wildfires. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
More help to fend off Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The Biden administration announcing another round of military aid for Ukraine.
The $500 million package includes minesweepers, armored vehicles, munitions, and air defense capabilities.
This is the 41st drawdown of equipment from the DoD inventories using presidential drawdown authorities for Ukraine that Congress approved last year with strong bipartisan support.
White House spokesperson Olivia Dalton reiterated President Biden's message this week to Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky of unwavering U.S. support.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A United Nations Human Rights Office reports Russian forces carried out widespread and systematic torture of civilians who were detained in connection with its invasion of Ukraine, executing dozens of them. Most interviewed said they were tortured and in some cases subjected to sexual violence during detention by Russian forces. That report also documented 75 cases of arbitrary detention by Ukrainian services. The leader of the Russian mercenary Wagner Group is now in Belarus.
The exile begins for Yevgeny Prigozhin. Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko confirming the mercenary leader has touched down in his country. Lukashenko claims to have talked the Wagner Group founder out of the mutiny, warning they'll squash you like a bug. Vladimir Putin agreed to let his former caterer and all Wagner Group soldiers relocate to Belarus. Russia has also dropped all criminal proceedings as part of the deal struck to end the uprising.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. A Senate committee's report says the FBI and Department of Homeland Security downplayed or ignored a massive amount of intelligence information before the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The report says agencies failed to warn of violence as some of then-President Trump supporters planned the siege openly online. The FBI and Homeland Security says they have implemented changes. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why you should stay prepared. 74 degrees, cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Your radar's clear, but there's a slight chance for rain later. Low temps fall to 56. I'm Harrison Silcox for the Machineless Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:02. You may still be cleaning up storm damage from Sunday, but there could be more rain in Indiana later this week. John Herrick reports.
As for when you could see more intense weather.
So it looks like pretty much Wednesday night through Monday, next Monday, we're going to have a lot of storms around. We have clusters of storms moving through at times, and we do have a severe weather risk now for Thursday.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the entire state needs to be on the lookout that day for damaging winds, hail, and possibly an isolated tornado. He says rain chances also continue through the weekend. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
One person was killed after a shooting in the east side this afternoon. IMPD says they found the victim just after 3 off 21st Street near the Budget 8 Inn. A suspect name has not been reported. If you know anything, call IMPD. The Brown elementary teacher who's accused of telling a special needs student to eat his own vomit had their teacher's license revoked a week ago. Indiana Secretary of Education Katie Jenner stepped in last Tuesday and made the decision to revoke Sarah Seymour's license. Seymour can petition to have her license reinstated in 3 years. You've probably heard less about the federal government giving out millions of dollars in funding for expanding internet access. Donnie Burgess reports on what Indiana gets.
Just over $868 million. The money comes from the Biden administration's infrastructure law, which has a program dedicated to broadband funding. Each state got some of the $42 billion the government made available. So now Indiana has 180 days to submit its internet access proposals to the government. The Hoosier State also has some local and statewide programs to work on getting you better internet access and coverage. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You may remember Cindy Carrasco, who ran as a Republican for Marion County prosecutor last election. She's now going to take over as head legal advisor for the University of Indianapolis. The school made the announcement Tuesday, and Carrasco starts the job July 10th. She's also going to oversee the university's police department and human resources office. The statewide average you're paying for a gallon of gas in Indiana today, $3.44, says Gas Buddy. That's down 11 cents from what you were paying a week ago. Traffic and weather's next. Your time is 5:04.
You've undoubtedly heard of the calm before the storm. Well, Michaelis is the calm after the storm. More than 3 decades of restoring damage from wind, rain, and hail. They've got your back, not to mention your front, side, and roof. It's why home and business owners beat a path to Michaelis' door, because it's always answered around the clock with welcome arms. Your port in the storm. From site security and tarping services to complete restoration work, they can handle anything Mother Nature throws your way. Seasoned and trustworthy pros who are never deterred by a little wind and rain, or a mother load of it for that matter. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call 844-FIX-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Harrison, on the northwest side, southbound 465 is stopped right now from 79 down to 65. That is because of a crash. It's blocking the right lane. It's also on the ramp too. Southbound 65 like you're going to downtown. The ramp is open, but it is partially blocked. Again, traffic stopped to 71st. Other direction, northbound lane stop and go. 86th Street up to 865. Eastbound 465 stop and go. Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65's from 21st to the North Split. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Need appliances fast? Shop Grand Appliance for hundreds of in-stock options, unbeatable prices, and extra rebate savings on top brands like LG. Learn more at grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hazy, mild, and foggy overnight. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow will start your day with mild conditions, areas of fog, and by afternoon seeing sunshine and warmer conditions as temperatures warm to the mid to upper 80s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it! So an audio tape, presumably leaked to CNN, shows Donald Trump saying that he's shared classified documents to multiple people in a room. How does CNN get the scoop of all this stuff? I mean, they knew Roger Stone was getting raided by the FBI before the FBI did. I think they were there.
They were camping out at Stone's house waiting for the FBI to get there. So, again, this audio tape that Caitlin Collins of CNN released on her Twitter feed and on the air last night, we're going to play you a little bit of it. This is kind of a watered-down version. The real version is like a minute 40 almost 2 minutes long. This is down to about a minute, but this is what you need to know. I want you to listen and see what you think, because Donald Trump alluding that he's sharing military documents, possibly classified, to multiple people in a room. And then he kind of mentions that he knows that he should have classified these ahead of time.
Well, with Milley, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look. This was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Wow. We looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff. It's pages long. Look. Wait a minute. Let's see here.
Yeah.
I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is like highly confidential, secret. This is secret information. But look at this. These are the papers. This was done by the military, given to me. I think we can probably, right?
We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to figure out
declassify. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't, you know, but this is classified.
Now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Trump in trouble here, Nige?
No, I think lawyers need to get aggressive and start going to the judge and say, look, you put a gag order on this whole thing. Why is this out here? Throw it out. I mean, seriously. The Department of Justice is supposed to be the secure lockdown mode. Oh, no, we can't tell you anything about Hunter Biden. It's still under as an ongoing investigation. And yet, a few days after the indictment drops down, we have, we already knew this was in the indictment. We already had the transcript. It's just in audio form now that it got leaked out. It didn't look good for him, but I don't know the context here. I don't know the beginning and the end. I don't know. Like, you listen to the whole thing at the very end of this thing. He goes, "Oh yeah, can you bring us a couple Cokes, please?"
That's the full clip, which we played earlier.
I mean, and especially again, the whataboutism here is what Hillary Clinton did, and the lengths that she went to, the size and scope of her obstructing justice, hiding emails, bleaching servers, and nothing was done here. The same with Joe Biden. He has classified documents when he was a senator at his house, which he shouldn't have had. But yet Donald Trump, I don't know, man. I mean, the Department of Justice, somebody said this on Twitter. I saw this, and it made total sense. The Department of Justice is prosecuting Trump for sharing information with a reporter when the Department of Justice itself shared the same information with CNN. So
you're right.
If you believe they leaked it to CNN.
There's two sets of justice going on, and we all know this. But just focusing on this could be trouble for Donald Trump. Because let's be honest, he's not going to get any breaks from the Department of Justice. He's just not. And even though this trial will be in Miami, it will be in Florida, rather, this is going to be tough because you go back, I think it was a week ago, he sat down with Brett Baer, and he said that he did not show any classified documents to individuals without security clearances. And his argument was it was just newspaper articles and other documents that he was showing.
When I'm not president, I can't declassify.
And that's what you said. You didn't declassify it.
I said, no. I said I couldn't
could have
but that wasn't a
declassified it.
document, Brett. There was no document. That was a massive amount of papers and everything else talking about Iran and other things. And it may have been held up or may not, but that was not a document. I didn't have a document per se. There was nothing to declassify. These were newspaper stories, magazine stories, and articles.
I'm just saying what the indictment says.
Well,
the recording and the people in the room who testified.
These people are very dishonest people. They're thugs. They're thugs. If you look at what they've done to other people, what they've done to and overturned in the U.S. Supreme Court, these are thugs.
Now, listen, if it's a document from Milley breaking down how he really wants to invade Iran, That's probably not from a newspaper. That's probably not some other document. So this is going to be a problem for Donald Trump here. Now, the wild card he could have is the fact that this was leaked to CNN. Yes. If they can prove that this was leaked from the Department of Justice to CNN, he could be basically freed on a technicality, and that's what Steve Ducey was talking about this morning.
The leaking of this particular tape, when you look at what Jillian just said, where she said Trump posted on Truth Social, the deranged special prosecutor Jack Smith, working in conjunction with the DOJ and FBI, illegally leaked and spun a tape and transcript of me, which is actually an exoneration. So you know what? If Trump thinks it's an exoneration of him, perhaps somebody on his side actually did the leaking to CNN and Maggie Haberman.
Oh, tinfoil hat from Ducey right there. So if the argument is, if you can prove that it was leaked from the special counsel to CNN.
And you can spin that audio as you're not guilty of exactly what they're accusing you of.
Maybe we leak it out there. We frame them for doing it. There's so much crap going on here.
There's been so many leaks of documents and leaks of Trump's testimony and audio. It's so blatantly clear that it's coming from the government. The Trump lawyers need to file, prosecutorial misconduct. They need to have this thing dismissed. It's so obvious where this is coming from.
And by the way, like buried in all of the lead headlines here, the fact that Milley wanted to invade Iran against the president's wishes, this should be a bigger story. The military, led by one of the woke all-stars currently employed, wanted to basically start a war. And Donald Trump was like, no, we're not going to do this. That in itself is a big story. Top Biden economic advisor Lael Brainerd did a press conference at the White House.
I'm sure that was a real scorcher.
Try not to laugh. Okay, everybody, if you've got coffee or a drink, you might want to put it down. They claim real wages are up.
Real incomes are up, especially for lower income workers.
Real incomes are up. George Costanza, your thoughts.
Just remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
Every single month since that big stimulus, that $1.9 trillion stimulus was passed, real weekly wages have fallen every single month since that happened. The real wages, again, this is your money compared to the cost of living, the cost of inflation, the cost of goods and services, is down, and it's been down every single month since the stimulus went into play.
Hell, Wish TV just had an article or a story on this morning I was watching. I was getting ready. The grocery prices are up even more than they were. You're paying 8% more for a July 4th cookout for a party of 10 than you did last year.
And even CNN is getting a little, I don't want to say squeamish when it comes to reporting about Joe Biden's economy. But take a listen to this. This was CNN earlier today questioning Bidenomics.
The White House bringing out some new messaging in its effort to tout the president's handling of the economy. Bidenomics is what they're calling it. Biden will be in Chicago tomorrow. He's expected to speak on this, and we're told underscore recent job gains and low unemployment. But the president is facing some serious headwinds. Not only do polls suggest voters are skeptical of him on the economy, but there's also the nagging threat of a potential recession.
That was not The Five. That was not anything on Fox News or Newsmax. That was Poppy Harlow on CNN questioning the Biden economy right now. So earlier today, the fine folks at the Justice Department confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide.
Oh, well, okay. That's that. We're all done here.
I mean, if the Justice Department says it, I mean, they would not lie to you.
No, they would never lie to us. They would never put parents who just show up at school board meetings on domestic terrorist watch lists. They would never leak audio to CNN of Donald Trump in an indictment. And they certainly would never lie to us about how Jeffrey Epstein died.
The report found errors and mismanagement at the Manhattan jail. What they found was largely unexplained succession of events that took place that allowed for Mr. Epstein to kill himself. For reasons that remain unclear, and again, this is from the report, the jail's staff members allowed Mr. Epstein to hoard extra blankets and linens and bedding and clothing. And despite the fact he had tried to hang himself earlier, he still had access to all of these things. And coincidentally, the cameras did not work and the staff members weren't there. There's nothing to see here, everybody. Nothing to see here.
Well, when you put it like that.
This rationale from the Justice Department about Epstein's, air quotes, suicide reminded me of that scene in Animal House where Flounder's car was destroyed and they were trying to come up with a reason, number one, to cheer up Flounder, and number two, a reason to pass it off to other people.
I'll tell you what, I'll swear you were doing a great job taking care of his car, but you parked it out back last night, and this morning, it was gone. DA takes care of the wreck. We report it to the police. Your brother's insurance company buys him a new car. That worked? Hey, it's got to work better than the truth.
It's got to work better than the truth. That's all really the Department of Justice said about the Epstein suicide. It was just an amazing series of events. It's got to work better than the truth. All right, Matt Baer, what's up?
Northwest side crash. Southbound 465 at I-65. It's on the right shoulder of the off-ramp. Northbound 465 on the east side. Stop and go traffic 70 up to 69. Eastbound lanes of 465 jam at Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road, and then southbound 465 slow from Brookville Road past 74. Traffic sponsored by Mattress Firm. The best summer savings arrived early at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Save up to $700 on top brands when you get a king bed for a queen price. Visit the sleep experts of Mattress Firm today. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Make sure you follow us on all of our social media networks, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're streaming live in the studio on YouTube right now. Follow us, watch us, stalk us, love us, whatever. 75 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And we're going to play a round of Are You Okay With This? Coming up next.
All right, Hammer, I'm sick and tired of eating out at the same old places. That's why I go to Jay's Lobster and Fish Market. It's right there in the Garage Food Hall, Bottle Works District. I could eat the lobster mac and cheese every day, three meals a day for a year.
It's so good. And you know what else is good there? Palavano Cubano.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The best Cuban food in Indy. And the atmosphere is amazing. You walk through the Garage Food Hall, it's like you're going through Vegas. So whether you're getting a little lobster mac and cheese or a Cuban sandwich, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Rob, here's a number I'd like you to consider.
Yes.
35%.
Oh.
How would you like to get a 35% bonus when you invest your money?
Yes, please.
So if you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. And if you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. But don't wait, because this 35% bonus, it ends on Friday, June 30th.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. You can sleep well at night knowing your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Learn how you could get this 35% bonus by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy at 317-932-9912.
Remember, this 35% bonus offer ends on Friday, June 30th. So don't wait. Call today. Get your 35% bonus by calling 317-932-9912. That number, 317-932-9912.
Owning your own home can cause a lot of headaches, which you don't want to be worried about, especially in the summer, is your air conditioning going out. You're not going to have to worry about that if you're an American Standard air conditioner owner like I am. Hey, if you need to have your heating and or cooling serviced or maintained, Hammer is going to tell you who you need to check out.
How about Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville? Danny Reinhardt started Reinhardt Heating and Cooling 37 years ago. They're one of the longest tenured American Standard dealers in all of Central Indy. Danny's sons and daughter are among the well-trained experts that are on staff at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Reinhardt, serving the Hendricks and surrounding areas. Make sure that AC is operating and ready to go for the summer. Call Reinhardt in Danville. Ask them about their indoor air quality service too. 745-4526. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule your complete health assessment at Low T Center. They now offer the convenience of monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay or covered by most health insurance.
If you don't live near a Low T Center or just need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatments. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
GeoFocus Academy is the premier online private school for Indiana students, helping students build a successful future regardless of race, income, or geographic boundaries. 96% of Indiana residents qualify to attend tuition-free using the Indiana Choice Scholarship. With certified teachers and hands-on learning from home, you can create a bright future for your child. Now enrolling grades K through 12 for the 2023-2024 school year. Learn more at k12.com/GFA. GeoFocus Academy, where education clicks.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah! Ryan Seacrest is the new Wheel of Fortune host after Pat Sajak announced his retirement next year. Are you okay with this?
You know what? This may anger a lot of people. I'm good with this. I'm okay with this. Ryan Seacrest, man, say what you want about him, but in a society where seemingly nobody wants to work, he wants all the work.
Everything.
He's a hustler. He's a grinder. He goes after everything. You can be jealous all you want. Do I like everything that he's done? No. But this is a dude that took advantage of being in the right place at the right time and became a star from this. So he has now signed a multi-year deal to replace Pat Sajak to be the host of the Wheel of Fortune. I've got nothing but nice things to say about Ryan Seacrest.
You know what? I think the way they tape these things, too, I think they do a bunch in a row for a couple of days, and then you're off the rest of the month. So they tape as many as they can, and they bank them, and then you're off. So you're only working a few days a week out of the month.
Right. And keep in mind, the host of Wheel of Fortune, as good as Pat Sajak was, and I do put him on the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts, it's not like you're Bob Barker where you have to interact constantly and sometimes you're making putts and sometimes you're playing games. You kind of stand there.
Just stand there.
And you see if there's an R on the board.
Is there, Allison, is there a younger demographic that's watching Wheel of Fortune now? I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, do you have any interest? I mean, you're in your, late 20s?
Yeah, I personally don't when it comes to the wheel, but I mean, I don't know.
Price I like how she just called it the wheel.
That's what the cool kids do.
Yeah, no, I don't really watch the wheel anymore. Too old for this. All right, I want to get to this here. Adele paused her show at Caesar's Palace to ask concert goers whether they'd visit the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean if given the opportunity.
How crazy was that submersible story? Absolutely crazy. It's so tragic, but I have been debating with my friends on our group chats. Everyone's like, I would never do that, but that's a lie, because a lot of people will do that. Just because we're not scientists doesn't mean we're going to do it, but you know. So I want to do a vote of, not as in like not in mind of what happened, because that was so sad and so tragic, but before this week, how many people, if they could, would go down to the very, very bottom of the ocean to see the Titanic? Raise your hands. See, I knew it.
You okay with Adele stopping her show and talking about that?
Just shut up and sing hello. These people paid so much freaking money. This is one of the most expensive shows in the history of Las Vegas. Tickets are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You've got on a big suit. Your date's got on an amazing evening gown. You go in there and she's talking about grim death at the bottom of the ocean. Nothing gets a crowd rocking and rolling like talking about the submersible disaster. I get that an Adele show's not like going to see Kiss, that she's going to be a songstress, but my God, you go to Vegas for entertainment. You go to Vegas to escape a lot of this bull crap, and you go on stage, and there's Adele talking about people and families dying. No, I am not okay with this at all.
Shut up and sing Rumor Has It, chick.
Exactly.
All right? I didn't pay all this money. And real quick, speaking of the Titanic, Netflix is actually facing some backlash for announcing it's bringing back the movie to its platform July 1st, so soon after the tragedy with the submersible. Are you okay with this?
Yes, I'm okay with this because, number one, Netflix, they don't just decide last minute what they're bringing back. They have it lined up months and months and months in advance. And number two, they're a business. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people, whether it's sick or not, that will be watching the Titanic because it's been in front of them so much lately. They're not in the charity game. It's a business. Yes, I'm okay with this. I'm fine with this. People need to lighten up just a little bit. All right, coming up here in just a moment, there was a new person at the podium today. Had the day off at the White House. So we'll hear from the new person. Plus, if you go to Georgetown University, get ready for an all-new member of the faculty. See if you can guess who it is. We'll tell you right after the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Where the storms were the strongest, 74 degrees, cloudy downtown. All clear on your radar, though. Low temps drop to the 50s tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:29. Survey teams from the National Weather Service have confirmed that 4 tornadoes hit Indiana Sunday afternoon.
2 EF2 tornadoes and then 2 EF1 tornadoes. One of the EF2 tornadoes was the one that was near Greenwood in Johnson County.
Greg Mello with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the tornado in Martin and Du Bois counties had wind speeds of 120 miles per hour. The one in Johnson County reached 115. He says severe weather is possible again on Thursday, so keep an eye on your radar. One person was killed after a shooting on the east side today. IMPD says they found the victim just after 3 p.m. off 21st Street near the Budget 8N. A suspect name has not been reported yet. If you know anything, give police a call. The Biden administration announced more help for Ukraine today. Fox's Jared Halpern reports.
The $500 million package includes minesweepers, armored vehicles, munitions, and air defense capabilities.
This is the 41st drawdown of equipment from the DoD inventories using presidential drawdown authorities for Ukraine that Congress approved last year with strong bipartisan support.
White House spokesperson Olivia Dalton reiterated President Biden's message this week to Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky of unwavering U.S. support. This latest aid was long planned and is not tied to the short-lived revolt over the weekend in Russia led by the leader of a Russian-backed mercenary group. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
FlightAware now says more than 4,200 flights have been delayed in the U.S. today, with more than 1,300 being canceled. Severe storms in the Northeast are giving airports problems, making it more difficult to get planes in and out of the air. Today is an air quality action day in Indiana. That's because of smoke from Canadian wildfires. It means you should avoid going outside so you don't breathe in any unhealthy air particles. Indiana will receive over $868 million in federal funding to expand high-speed internet access. Donnie Burgess reports.
The state has 180 days to submit its initial proposals for high-speed broadband grant programs. The money, which comes from a program attached to the federal infrastructure law, allows states to push for better internet access and coverage. Indiana also has local and state-level partnerships, including one announced for Crawfordsville last week. Donnie Burgess, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
With traffic at 532, here's Matt Bear.
Yeah, Harrison, northwest side, southbound 465, stop and go traffic 79 down to 65 because of a crash on the right shoulder into downtown. Inbound 65, sluggish from 29th on end. Eastbound 70, the same from Harding to the south split. On the northeast side, eastbound 465 jams at Westfield Boulevard. Let's go around Allisonville Road, then inbound 69, stop and go 96 down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by B Windows. Celebrate B Windows 40-year anniversary with 40% savings on all of their products, plus manufacturer's rebates. Get 20 months, no interest, no payments. Trust me. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Hazy, mild, and foggy overnight. Temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow will start your day with mild conditions, areas of fog, and by afternoon seeing sunshine and warmer conditions as temperatures warm to the mid to upper 80s. I'm Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist Ashley Brown on 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You people disgust me.
Hammer and Nigel.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Old flip-flopping Fauci retired from his public service after 50 years and now is taking a gig at Georgetown University. So, Fauci was a disaster during the AIDS crisis. He was a disaster on COVID, wrong at every turn on both counts. And come on in and teach the next generation of med students. Come on, Fauci. It's all your... I mean, you remember, everybody was so scared of AIDS that, if you touched another person that had AIDS, that's a result of Fauci's fear-mongering back in the day, because he thought a vaccine was an answer for AIDS, and that never went through, never followed through on that. So much wasted lives and so much time wasted on that whole thing. And the same thing with COVID. He had us believing that we needed to wipe down our groceries as they were being delivered to us in quarantine.
They made up 6 feet apart. They knew these masks wouldn't do anything, and they kept going with it. And what cracks me up is when folks on the far left accuse Trump supporters of being in a cult. You're in a cult. Cult 45. I can't believe you idolize this guy. They do the same thing to Dr. Fauci.
The same thing. And speaking of vaccines, they didn't live up to what they were promised to either in terms of COVID.
No,
so
not at all.
Twice in a row with the vaccines, with AIDS and COVID. And now he's going to teach incoming medical students, the next generation. Okay.
Colleges are where failed politicians go to die. And I count Fauci as a politician. We had a story, 2 weeks ago, that Lori Lightfoot, who was so bad in Chicago, she finished third in the primary, not some sort of general, the primary, that she's got some cush Ivy League teaching job now. What are you going to teach kids? How to be a hypocrite and ruin a city? What's Fauci going to teach these kids? How to properly say draplets?
Droplets.
So Karine Jean-Pierre, White House press secretary, she had the day off today. So Olivia Dalton stepped up to the plate.
Who?
This is another girl with really red hair, and she claims that Joe Biden has properly dealt with our border situation.
With respect to immigration, this president came into office introducing a comprehensive immigration reform, sought and received and was able to obtain record border security funding, was able to put in place a series of policies that expanded legal pathways for migration, that dealt with our border situation, and has now resulted in a significant decrease in unlawful border crossings since the lifting of Title 42. And he's done all of that without the help of Republican governors around the country or Republican lawmakers in Congress.
Oh, she look at the end. Listen to her at the end there. She's patting herself on the back for reading straight off the Democrat talking points she was given.
Now, to be fair, if she was reading off a prompter, she would deserve a pat on the back because Joe can't even do that.
Right.
Here she is when she was asked about if the White House thinks that, there's a problem that so many Americans grade the administration poorly on handling of the economy.
First, on the economy, you and this White House continues to point out that on individual issues that have been passed or that are being implemented, they are popular with the American public. Why does the White House think consistently, however, that Americans grade the president so poorly on his handling of the economy?
Well, look, I just said that we're just starting to feel the impact of the president's economic agenda over the last couple of years.
We're just now feeling the economic impact. Boy, get ready, Bow, buckle up. If we're just now feeling the impacts of this failed economic plan, just like we talked about earlier, wait another couple months. See what your grocery bill's like here in another couple months.
There's still, it's again, the grocery prices are through the roof. That's just one example. Through the roof. Wish TV ran this article today and did a news piece on how your July 4th barbecue will be 8% more expensive than it was last year. And then went and rattled off a ton of stuff. Bread up 12%. Milk, eggs, everything still through the roof.
So it seemed like everything was going pretty smoothly at this press conference. Olivia Dalton was up there handling the things instead of KJP. But then, almost as like the encore, like sometimes you go to a concert and the really awesome bands will play their most popular song last, right before they walk off the stage. Yeah. The encore for a Biden administration press conference is announcing more stuff going to Ukraine.
Today, the Biden-Harris administration is announcing a new security assistance package for Ukraine as we continue to stand with the people of Ukraine as they defend themselves from Russia's brutal invasion. This package includes key capabilities that will support Ukraine's counteroffensive operations, such as mine clearing equipment, armored vehicles, and artillery rounds.
We love you, DC. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
So this is a $500 million security package going to Ukraine, and I'm really excited. I'm pumped up, Nige. I can't wait to see these bad boys in action with the Mexican cartels.
Right.
4 volunteers have just entered a virtual Mars created by NASA.
What?
And they won't come back for over a year. Did you see this?
What do you mean, like the movie Biodome with Stephen Baldwin and Pauly Shore?
That's kind of what NASA made here, except for instead of the biodome, it's Mars, it's like a simulated Mars.
You got to be kidding me. So they're locked in this facility for a year that simulates the conditions on Mars. No, thank you.
378 days. That's how long these folks will be locked into this environment. The participants are research scientist Kelly Haston, structural engineer Ross Brockwell, emergency medicine physician Nathan Jones, and U.S. Navy microbiologist Anka Selaru.
Ross Brockwell's the best porn name ever.
Now, if this really were the biodome, could you totally see U.S. Navy microbiologist Anka Selaru giving the same speech that Stephen Baldwin gave about photosynthesis in a strange environment?
Purple sticky punch, or hemp, is an excellent source of photosynthesis.
Loved Biodome.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that now. It totally reminds me of Biodome.
Is that the signature movie for Pauly Shore, or was it Son-in-Law?
Oh, man.
I mean, honestly, I think he's probably best known for MTV.
I mean, but in terms of movies, Son-in-Law was really good. I liked that. That was a sweet movie. And
had Kelly Kapowski in there doing a very seductive dance to Trouble by Travis Tritt. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Encino Man was good. And let's not forget In the Army Now with Andy Dick. Was that one of his movies?
Jury Duty.
Yeah, now we're getting into the ones that probably let's see what else.
The Legends of Pauly Shore, though, on MTV Spring Break are unbelievable. Like, that dude in his prime hooked up with so many chicks. Like, the legend of Pauly Shore on Spring Break was unbelievable.
Remember when we had him on our podcast? He was a little bit of a diva.
He was a little weird, to put it mildly, and I don't know if he was on something or what.
No, I think he's been he was interesting, but he was like, where's your security? Where's my security? I'm like, dude, we just asked you to come to the comedy club down to this podcast. There's no security. Nobody's trying to
Your security's the same place where all your rushing fans are at, Paulie. Somewhere else. But you wouldn't take part in this NASA thing?
No, thank you.
Is there a price that you would do it for?
I do not want to be trapped in like a biodome type deal with other people for 378 days. No, thank you. I don't want to get in a plane and I don't want to get on a rocket ship and go see space. I don't want to fly to Mars. I don't want to go see the Titanic. I'm good on all of it.
So speaking of NASA is boasting that they can recycle 98% of an astronaut's urine and turn it into water.
Oh, good Lord. Wait, well, you said 98%. What's the other 2%?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Sure, some bottled water comes from natural springs. Others boast exotic locales like the French Alps or the Detroit River. But now, a refreshing water that's truly out of this world. New from NASA, space water. Every bottle of space water is filled to the brim by a real-life space station astronaut, so you know it has to be good.
And we have splashdown.
Space water in 3 delicious flavors: Uranus, freeze-dried asparagus, and Tang. Space water. You're gonna love it. Now with 2% real astronaut pee.
The look on Allison's face when the word Tang was said was so good. It reminded me of the GIF that I use all the time. Michael Bolton in Office Space just making that sour face, the disgusted face, and turning around. That was Allison. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or federal alternative minimum tax.
The stock market dropped by over
Inflation continues to be a challenge for retail.
Let's face it, investing can feel pretty scary and overwhelming these days, especially if you're retired or close to retirement, which is why you should consider investing in municipal bonds from Hennian & Walsh. Municipal bonds can provide a source of federally tax-free retirement income. Plus, an investment in municipal bonds is an investment in America. Municipal bonds help finance major civil projects across the country, like the Golden Gate Bridge and Hoover Dam, as well as local roads, bridges, and schools. Call 1-800-761-9761 right now for our informative free bond guide and learn how you can earn tax-free retirement income while investing in America's future. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 for the free Hennian & Walsh bond guide. There's no cost and no obligation. 1-800-761-9761.
Hennian & Walsh Inc., member of FINRA and SIPC.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Faith Prep Academy of Indiana helps children unlock their purpose and explore their passion in a supportive faith-based environment. Faith Prep is a flexible online private school that enables students to reach academic excellence, develop Christian character, and discover their gifts and talents. Now enrolling grades K through 12. 96% of Indiana residents qualify for significant financial aid through the Indiana Choice Scholarship. Learn more at k12.com/faithIN. Faith Prep Academy of Indiana. Learning with purpose.
So this response to Diamonds Direct's amazing finance offer has been off the charts, really through the roof. They are extending it through Saturday, so time is of the essence. You can go into the holiday weekend with some new bling and spread your payments out over as long as 5 years with special financing, or save up to $5,000 on the spot.
And it's your choice. You can choose the cash offer or long-term financing. Depending on your needs and preferences, Diamonds Direct will take care of you. And everything's included, from a $1,000 item to a $100,000 item. All rings, jewelry, designer pieces, hand-picked diamonds, it's all in the mix. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable, but this amazing offer ends on Saturday, and it will not be extended. DiamondsDirect.com or stop by Keystone at the Crossing. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Common Threads has teamed up with the Indiana Fever to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc.
The latest local news, commentary from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey,
5.6%
Hammer and Nigel,
Biden.
podcasts. Listen to the station live, whenever, wherever, online at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear's got to look at the roads.
All right, Hammer looking at eastbound 465, still a jam fest. Before Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Lawrence, northbound 465. Stop and go traffic 70 to Penn Pike and then slow up to 69. And southbound 465 on the southeast side slows from 74 to Arlington Avenue. Crash cleanup continues on the northwest side. On southbound 465 at 65, delay is mostly cleared out, though. Traffic sponsored by B Window. Celebrate B Window's 40-year anniversary with 40% savings on all of their products. Plus manufacturer's rebates. Get 20 months, no interest, and no payments. Trust me. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
I really have to go pee, but there's no bathroom on this floor. Like, my teeth are floating, but I don't have enough time to go upstairs or downstairs because everything's broken down here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no water, there's no toilets. There's
Our pets'
nothing.
heads are falling off.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah.
75 at the Toiletless American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. She ain't going to the bathroom.
Pickleball injuries could cost America up to $400 million.
That's money we could be sending to Ukraine.
Yeah, of course. Pickleball, of course, is the, I don't know, it's a tennis-like sport. It's like a hybrid of, I don't know, I want to say tennis and ping pong almost. You're playing on a court, you've got a paddle, and it's like a heavy ball, and it's, I don't want to say traditionally older people play it. I think that has a stigma because my next door neighbor, Scott, is like, yeah, he's 10 years younger than I am. He's got a pickleball court in his backyard that he uses and plays with, and he's on leagues and teams. But because, I think because it's mostly generally an older, in terms of demographics, it's costing America up to $400 million a year as insurance companies see surges in hip replacements, knee surgeries, and elective procedures. I love pickleball. I love playing. I don't know all the rules. When I do play, I play with people that are much better than I am, which is good.
Can you drink when you play it?
Oh, absolutely. Every time. I don't think I've ever not had a drink when I played pickleball. But, yeah, you're right. This is money we could be sending to Zelensky.
So $400 million a year in hip replacements, knee surgeries, and elective procedures. Yeah. If yard darts would become a thing again, do you think it'd be that expensive?
Didn't they cancel yard darts?
They did, because people were throwing them up high in the air and landing in their heads and on their foot like in Grown Ups where they shoot the arrow up in the air.
Real quick, this guy's gone viral with a story about a bad date with a chick who mocked him for never being in a relationship before. He's comparing kind of having no relationship experience to having no job experience.
So I went on a first date with this girl. We were getting along, and then she asked me, hey, what's your past relationship experience like? I was being very honest, and I told her, I've never had a girlfriend before in my life. And then she laughs a little, and then when we get home, I message her, hey, I had a good time. I'd love to see you again. And she never responds. And then I take a quick look at her Hinge profile, and I see that she's updated one of her prompts. My most irrational fear is being someone's first girlfriend. What are people like me supposed to do? Were there relationship internships I was supposed to apply for or something?
Good luck, bro. I don't think you get a chance.
If you close your eyes, get ready to play this one more time. I know we're running late here. Tell me this doesn't sound like Beavis.
So I went on a first date with this girl.
I was going to say
we were
Butthead.
getting along, and then she asked me,
Butthead,
hey, what's
thank
your
you.
past relationship experience?
This is Butthead.
Yes, got it backwards, but yes, that's totally Butthead right there. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Rob, here's a number I'd like you to consider.
Yes.
35%.
Oh.
How would you like to get a 35% bonus when you invest your money?
Yes, please.
So if you invest $100,000, you get a $35,000 bonus. And if you invest $200,000, you get a $70,000 bonus. But don't wait, because this 35% bonus, it ends on Friday, June 30th.
Hey, it's Kendall and Casey. You can sleep well at night knowing your money is backed by one of the largest insurance companies in the world. Learn how you could get this 35% bonus by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy at 317-932-9912.
Remember, this 35% bonus offer ends on Friday, June 30th. So don't wait. Call today. Get your 35% bonus by calling 317-932-9912. That number, 317-932-9912.